Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 14 of Back of the Burb. We made it. We passed the unlucky number, right?
Somehow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Somehow we survived episode
Just
13.
making sure you guys were alive over
What if we
there.
blow up right now?
Don't.
Well, that's
Did
unfortunate.
anybody
Don't say that.
survive the Brown episode? Like,
The Oh,
Did
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
survive?
did they
Yeah,
make
leave
it
a
all the way
comment
through?
of how brown our last episode was.
Yes, the
Sorry,
brown maelstrom
no, okay.
is upon us.
Yeah, I am your Lord and Savior, Lord Beardsley, chilling out here with you. We got Lee, Grizzly. Delightful queefing noise. We got Alex and Matt, the Filth Lords.
The
Howdy,
filth
y'all.
lords.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
think
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
it's
it's
filthy
descending
in this
order of
corner.
filth or if if it's like just kind of like filth corner and then like I don't know what corner we are. I don't know if I can use like a proper word for that. Marble Mine corner.
Oh, Marble Mine? Yeah.
Yeah, we got the marble mines. You got the filth brain.
It's like the Fantastic Four, but way shittier.
Yeah.
Way shittier. No
Yeah.
superpowers.
It's, the Fantastic Four without superpowers and as just like middle-aged adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle age? No, I'm not there yet.
Well, I
don't
presume
care
I'm going to die at 60, so I think I'm like middle-aged.
Touche, I guess.
Cool, yeah, getting into mortality. This is going to be the
He's basically already
the
dead.
dark episode.
The dark
It went from
episode
brown to dark.
darker.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're gonna be going on about that dark cinematic universe where they have like all the mummy and all that shit?
Oh yeah, like that
They're
thing
doing-
that they tried to make and
And
it
it
like
failed?
flopped on the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. James, how was your week?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Spent it doing a bunch of shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to say, Bowser got neutered, so he's been all loopy and he's been all up on them painkillers and those drugs, so he's out of it.
Yep.
He got that done Wednesday. And of course, as soon as Wednesday rolls around, that's the same day Eddie and I recorded Metal Wolf, which we finished Metal Wolf.
We did. We brought that bastard Metal Wolf to justice.
Yeah. And that is underway on the channel. So
Yes. Stay tuned.
first episode's up. The other ones will be coming up Wednesday and Friday as more. So the plan is podcasts on Mondays and then episodes of other crap, whatever we're doing on Wednesdays and Fridays and possibly Saturdays for extras. Whatever else we got and then whatever else is in between. In
Sorry
the
about
meantime,
that burp ASMR.
we will be streaming.
Yes.
So last night was the first stream. It was it was a mess.
Yeah, we're still kind of like figuring stuff out and like what we want to use and how we want to use it. So I think
Yeah.
it's still kind of like a work in progress.
Yeah, it's like we had no alert box, no nothing. And I mean, like, it's not like anyone was following or doing anything for the channel at the time.
There was 5 views.
It literally
5
was
viewers.
like a test.
Yeah.
A test.
And one of them was
fire,
me.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half of them were like the
I was
people
gonna say
Yeah.
one was me from my phone, so that was, you know.
For like a chat. Shout out to
actually-
Lotus because Lotus watched.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
He-
1,
yes.
2, 3, 4 Lotus, 5 was Sean.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
Sean was
yeah,
watching
So
too.
we actually physically know everybody
Oh,
that came on.
yeah.
Dang.
You know what?
That's
Hey,
pretty
you know
cool.
what?
But they
As
all
far as-
came on, yeah.
Look, as far as streaming goes, if we can, every time we stream, if all of a sudden everyone and like all of our friends, like Jeremy and everyone, like opens it up and sits there and chats in the stream, it don't matter if it says like, oh, there's only 10 people. But if there's 10 people and you go into the stream and 10 people are chatting, or at
More
least 3 or
people,
4 people
yeah.
are chatting and you're interacting with the chat, it'll show that there's more interaction.
Yeah.
Because more people will be looking at the channel and they'll see, like, when someone clicks on it, when they see the stream, they'll be like, oh, they're actually interacting and doing stuff. Ideally, we get it to be like Djibouti or Maximilian, dude.
Oh, it's just,
That's the goal. That's why I was saying earlier we need to have more voices.
Djibouti.
So, yeah. So, we...
just like the breathing laugh.
I know. I didn't mean to do
He's
that.
like,
It
I
just
kind of
kinda-
want to say something, but I'm not going to be rude, so I'm just going to... You know,
Yeah. Okay, that's actually creepy.
what's creepy is if we all go silent and still hear it.
Oh yeah. That's actually fucking weird.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this like the breathing ASMR?
This is the breathing episode.
Oh, that's going to be real. It's just going to be like...
I mean, the stream last night, for anyone who did tune in, was just me doing burp ASMR. And along with the burp ASMR, I'm just sitting there making queef noises the whole time, just...
Yeah.
Like, the
God,
whole
I
time.
hated it.
Amongst the kneecap simulator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were definitely discussing kneecaps and
The finer points of having them
yeah.
removed.
yeah.
Boiling.
It was fun.
reselling,
It was a good
refurbishing.
time.
Do you guys have a kneecap remover tool?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
the
so it
we
comes
Red
in
9.
like 9mm, 45.
Yeah, you could pretty much use. I think
So-
that just about almost
Yeah,
anything.
it's
can
a
be knee
Mauser
removal.
C96 broom handle.
So,
Yeah.
so
Is
Matt,
the kneecap
did you
removal.
know that you can actually refurbish kneecaps that you remove by
Yep.
boiling them?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
boiling's the start of the process.
Well, wait a
It's-
minute.
it's
If you
lengthy.
shoot it, isn't it just going to blow the thing into pieces?
Well, we've
Yeah,
got
but that's
glue-
why
we've
we
got glue for
refurbish
that.
it.
Yeah.
so what you're saying is you take the pieces that are left and boil them,
Yep.
Yeah.
and they just like go back
Yep.
together. They
Yeah.
So
coagulate
you know, like
back
when
together?
you go to like Sports Authority and you buy a mouth guard, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
boil it first, and then bite on it." You boil the kneecap, you just kind of press it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got some kind of like loosey goosey kneecap, like we just submerge your whole leg in boiling water and it'll fix it.
You're not going to.
I mean, you'll have other problems going on there, but I mean, your kneecap will be fixed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where gelatin comes from. It's like, it's part of the bone.
They
I mean,
boil kneecaps.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, bone. They boil bone to get gelatin.
Yeah, and kneecaps
that.
is made of bone.
Yeah.
Boiling bone boiler.
Yeah, kneecaps.
Oh, the bone boiler.
That's
Yeah.
brutal.
That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's like a Dark Souls boss or something, or like Diablo.
Yeah. It'd be like Xavier the bone boiler.
Yeah.
Man, they've really got
Yeah,
my
yeah.
nuts in a bone boiler over here.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's wow.
But yeah, so long story short, Resident Evil 4 had started. I think we're just going to transition Resident Evil 4 over to like a Friday night stream.
Yep.
We'll do a Friday night stream. I don't know if we're going to keep recording on Wednesdays or if we do streams on Wednesday nights also or something like that.
I mean, we could.
Or just take Wednesday and Friday and figure it out for 2 activities.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
whatever.
Yeah.
Do we continue recording games on Wednesday? Or do we turn Wednesday into a stream also?
Or make it
thing
whatever.
is-
Whatever.
Yeah. The
matter.
thing about it is recording while you're streaming is kind of a pain, as we figured out last night. Because you have to cut it, intro an episode, outro an episode, all this other stuff. Whereas if we're just recording, we're just recording.
Yeah, really.
But
So
just-
that stream was more like, kind of like a behind the scenes episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was just kind of. It just at one point it just kind of devolved into, all right, we're just gonna fuck off.
Well,
and
you
play
know what
games."
though? You
Yeah.
could actually keep some of that as a literal behind the scenes. If this is what's going on when you record.
Oh
Doesn't have to
yeah,
be per
no, like
game. You could just.
I'll try and turn it into like a highlight reel stuff for
Yeah.
like the streams, just for like short form content. Because like the funny bits, like I'm already gonna cut up a couple of the jokes and put them out as like reels.
Yeah. I
Like-
mean, for 2 hours, we're about like 10 minutes of funny. So
Yeah.
like that's because we're all
Well,
boring as shit.
I mean, I'd say we're funnier than 10 minutes, but not all of it needs to be.
No, well, I'm definitely
replicated.
not smart enough for 10 minutes. We were fucking marble mind, smooth brain. Like, where's that blue thing?
I don't know.
It took us like way
Yeah.
too long to find that last blue thing.
I mean, we had an actual conversation. Is like if there was how many brain cells were between the 3 of us, and
Yeah.
we came out with 7, and we were never able to figure out the math to figure out how
No.
that split worked.
No.
Yeah, 5.
Well, we don't have enough brain cells to do the math. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
yeah, I don't know how like a math processor works, but
Man,
we
that's a
definitely
weird
weren't
system.
there. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Matt, you missed out.
That's
You
a
know what
very
it probably
rigged
is?
system.
Like-
There's still 7 brain cells in here, but they're only maths.
Yeah,
Zero.
That's what I'm saying. Is like Matt would have been smarter than all of us put together last.
Yeah,
night.
I'm pretty vapid.
Vapid.
It just.
I don't think
turns-
that's the right way to use that word, but I am.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The stream was like a perfect example as to how when all of us get together, we just turn into like a vacuous hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just a black hole of intellect.
Vacuous hole.
Yeah, vacuous
Full
hole.
of intellect.
Oh.
Yeah. Intellect,
Yeah,
insanity, and,
sheerly, just ultimately like.
and all that it
unlimited
spews out is toxic radiation and like poop jokes.
and absolutely
That's
no light.
basically.
That's a great time. It's entertaining.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're into that,
Come by.
come on
I hope you enjoy it.
hop on in the vacuous hole.
Yes.
Vacuous.
So there's that, and then among others, got some family visiting. So, of course. Anyways, yeah, with just interruptions in the background. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're all good.
Of course. So where was I? Yeah, family's visiting. We've got just kind of more stuff coming up with the editing, obviously. As I was going to say, like some of the highlight reels I will be taking out, like the fucking why Wouldn't you put chalk and chocolate milk or whatever the fuck it was?
You're gonna edit that out?
It was
No, like into a reel.
Oh, okay.
Into a reel because that
I
was a standout
I
moment.
was proud of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt. I'm gonna ask you.
So
What do you call chocolate milk with no chalk? Go on. Go on.
I
Go
don't
on.
know.
Let's hear it.
What do you call it?
Chocolate milk. Because you don't put chalk in chocolate milk.
idiot.
Fucking dipshit.
The best part about that is you can make anybody just feel stupid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
blow out.
Like, it kills your brain like a poisonous drug.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So now you know.
I'm gonna use that on so many people now.
Oh, good.
That's the level of what the stream was basically.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
use it on
horrible.
like people and be like, God, you are fucking stupid.
Yeah,
aren't you?"
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do that to the guy who says, like, listen to yourself.
No, because he'd hear that and then he would go, listen to yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's like, you have like a trigger phrase to like get him to say it.
He'd like pick up on it and be like, listen to yourself.
Dude, listen to yourself.
Is he an older guy? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
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 It single-handedly is like the greatest thing though, because now like you can use it at such great times when you want to like be mean or like tell someone to like go fuck themselves, but you can't. So you
It's
just
like
go,
the
listen to yourself.
Yeah, listen to
ultimate
yourself.
Uno
Yeah.
reverse. You just hand him the card and leave.
Yeah, that's actually like kind of what it is. It's like word judo.
Yeah, that's like exactly what it is.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
counter throw.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
It's like PG trolling, like trolling the crap out of people, not using any expletives or anything like that.
Yeah,
So you can never really get banned for anything.
it's good stuff. Let's see, we did. Nice. See, okay, I'm not the
delicious.
only one who
There's-
burped in the
There
mic.
is like sauce. on the microphone.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. So other than that, one other thing, I did get one of the. Have you seen those like frames where it's like all the LED lights? By Devoom is the company. But they make they're like it's like a frame of LED lights, but you can light it up and you can put like pixel art animations and stuff like that.
Oh no, I hadn't seen that.
Is it like a light bright but cooler?
Kind of? If that's what you want to
Light
call it.
It's like a picture frame with like lights inside the
Yeah,
frame.
with
right?
LEDs. Let me just pull it up. But pretty much they were like almost half off this week under a sale from them.
So how do they look in like a room that's like got like windows and stuff in the daytime when you like half the time you can't see the picture because it's got like reflections
Oh
on
no,
it?
no.
Does
Look,
that
look.
like,
I'm pulling it up.
I'm wondering if that's a way I can
Like
fix
one of
that.
those. But you can change it.
Yeah.
like-
Okay. So it's just a board full of LEDs.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you can
Got it.
and like you can edit them and everything.
How much is it?
Like one of those.
Okay.
It's like $130. It's almost half off from what they normally are.
Is that 130 at hat? Like that's what it is? Half
Yeah, the
off?
price.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay the full price probably though.
But there's all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff and you can like
3.6, not great, not terrible.
Yeah. It's animated. You can put a bunch of like the little animations and stuff on an SD card, and it'll just cycle through them.
Nice.
So that'll be coming. That'll be in the background, and then you can put counters and stuff like YouTube counters, like how many likes on a video or subscriber or stuff like that, if you want.
How many times we clap our hands?
Yeah, I don't think we'll do that. But you know what it will count?
What?
It'll count my losses in Apex.
Oh, and his kills.
Losses.
Yeah. Just
Anyways.
God, I hate this.
Yeah, you know.
Sorry.
whatever.
Okay.
Pretty much. But yeah, they're having like a summer sale, and that was like almost half off.
All right.
It's pretty much. It's not quite. Like if you go buy one elsewhere, they're like over $200
Oh
from
dang.
like other retailers. But if you buy it directly from them, it's whatever.
All right.
So I've been looking at those for a while, seen them a big sale. I was like, oh, cool. So I'll be putting that, I don't know, somewhere around here. And then for like the extra like Weeby Gamer Boy, whatever the hell you want to call it,
Yeah.
I got the new swimsuit edition for Udon for Street Fighter. So I've got another Chun-Li comic book coming in the bathing
Oh.
suit. This time
All
she's
right.
standing in front of an arcade machine.
Ooh, oh, yeah. Oh,
It's just Chun-Li. Like all you have to say is Chun-Li in a bathing suit. You're like, oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah. All right, color me
I was
interested.
like, cool, I guess. Weeb nerd.
But
in a
then you're
bathing
like,
suit.
yes. Where do I get it?
Hey.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
one of
sorry.
those where I was like sitting there and I sent it over to Alex. I was like, yo, look, they got it. I don't know if I want that. It's kind of expensive. And then I was kind of sitting there looking at it. I was like, Yeah, but those sell out really fast. They do sell out, and like, it was one of those where it was like, yep, it was gone in under 3 hours.
Wow.
Because like I saw it go live while I was just
Dang.
scrolling Insta. It was like, I kind of sat on my hands for it about 15 minutes. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll buy it. I have one already. I have like 2020, I think that was. I don't know. I can't tell.
Oh, the Chun-Li one there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
Yeah, he then also told me, he's like, oh, they got all kinds of other stuff on that store. And he's just like, oh, the Zero Suit Samus. Like,
no, that's a
that's
different store.
one.
That is
Oh, I don't know.
the artist's store. The artist who drew the cover art, that was their store. They do like it's like Reik. It's REIQ. Is
Oh.
the artist handle.
Rake?
Reik. I don't know how he says it. I've never
Rick.
heard it. I've never heard it from him out loud
Oh.
in like any sort of content, whether it's on Instagram or whatever it is. So, Reik, whatever the hell you want to call it. But no, he also has a store, and he does all kinds of art and stickers and everything. And I sent that over to Alex. And
Cool.
Alex is like, "Ooh, weeby stickers. Woo!" It's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Good
told him,
stuff.
I was like, I'm gonna get the most lewd Zero Suit Samus one, the biggest one I can find, hopefully like this, and just put it on
The
my,
biggest picture, right? Not the biggest Zero Suit Samus.
both.
Well, okay.
Anyway, so get the
ooh.
picture, and stick it like on the inside of my hood of the car, so when you open it, it's just like the chick, you know.
Yeah,
No, you know what you should
encouraging you to work on your own car. I see.
You should get that as like a sunshade.
Oh, I
So
don't-
then everyone can see.
Yeah,
Everyone can see as
exactly,
they walk by
everybody
your
can
car
see.
in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, fucking freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope.
Get
that's
like an
not-
illustration of putting them on the glass, and then put that in the windshield when you park your car.
Yeah,
That'd be class.
Yeah.
Very classy. Yeah.
it would, but I don't think it'd be acceptable.
Yeah,
in my-
it's classy in like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia way.
like my boss would come out and he'd probably look at it, and it would take him a long time. But
no,
he
you
would
back in.
definitely,
Don't let your
He would-
boss see it.
No, he would talk.
Oh.
Oh, he goes out and he'd say
Oh,
like there'd be a lot
This
of that.
year's.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
So that'll be on the wall soon. Here you go, Matt.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's my mega weebiness for the week, anyways. That's about all I have to say about that.
The woobiness.
That's all I
Other
have to
than that-
say about that.
I'm gonna get rid of my car at some point.
Oh,
I gotta go find something else.
you're actually
gonna
pulling
pull
the trigger on that thing?
I've been hearing a lot
Pull
about
my
that.
trigger.
Yeah.
My love gun.
We'll figure it out. I got some other shit to figure out, but like that thing's going away.
True.
Okay.
There's one thing where like, and I was telling Alex this, and like, it's really interesting because as a whole we have the same car. I just have like the next level up. Like I have the
Kinda.
sport package basically, is what it is.
It's pretty different. Like if you drove mine, you'd be like, this is not the same car, at all.
Well, no, a drivetrain is different. That's about it.
Oh yeah, but,
But like, I'm just saying, like, for the same body car from the same manufacturer, mine's pretty much the sport package. I just like, there's so many little things that are just like, they're absolutely irritating. And one of them that I've kind of had enough of this week is that the seats aren't quite wide enough for me. And this is a really weird one.
This boy thick.
No, like this
Sorry.
is a really weird one where this goes back to the like, no, I got to do 10,000 miles in a car to know whether or not I like it. And that's the unfortunate part, if that makes sense. The curve of the seats, because they're like semi-bucket seats, because I got the Recaro, I got the factory Recaros. They have a curve up by the shoulders. And just because of the way I have to sit in the car to drive it, because of the seating position, and I've tried moving it all around and everything, just because I have to drive it and it's a manual, and like I'm always shifting with my right hand because I'm sitting in traffic and everything.
Yeah. Well, it'd be weird if
only-
you shifted with your left.
Yeah. Like I've got to this point to where like if I don't hold it all the way across the wheel, like my left hand all the way across the wheel, anywhere else, however I hold the steering wheel, it just like, because of the shape and the curve of the seat, it puts a bunch of pressure on the back of my shoulder blade. So like right at the bottom of my left shoulder blade, it feels like I'm just pinching a nerve.
Ooh.
And it's
Woof.
because of the curvature of the seat. So if I'm like sitting in like a truck or something where the seat back is flat because it's not like a sport vehicle,
Right.
I don't have that problem.
Huh.
But if I'm sitting in something like Like a common way to think of it is like when I'm sitting in my old bucket seat, when I was sitting in the old bucket seat on the racing simulator.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of in this like that because that one was obviously too small for me. It was an old one. But like because you're in there and you're curving your shoulders and everything just to sit in it, like it's just one of those where like as a whole it's just been whatever. I'm just kind of I got to figure something out. But yeah, no, one of the most interesting things about this is like as I was talking to Alex this week is like Alex is the same car pretty much. Like we're talking like over 80% of
At
the
least
same car.
the body and the interior are very similar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
motor
I mean-
drivetrain notwithstanding.
I guess this is nitpicking, but when you come down to it, technically, like, it shifts different, transmission's different, engine's different. We got that part.
Yeah.
But, like, interior as a whole, yes, but the seats are completely different.
Right. Yeah.
Completely
Because
different.
he's got the. He's
So,
got
like,
the-
sport
that's
package.
the only thing inside, probably.
yeah.
But
yeah, no, it's just interesting because as a whole, his experience with the car has been a net positive. Right? And then as a whole on my side, my experience with the car has been a net negative.
Huh.
And I'm not saying like I don't enjoy the car. No, like there's a lot of back roads around here.
Oh yeah.
And like there's definitely
It's the
times
one
where
good
like,
thing that New England really does have
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
for
yeah.
us. We got a lot of those twisty roads.
3D environment.
yeah, there's plenty of roads here where I wind it out in like third and fourth gear.
Yeah.
Like
nice.
good old rally style,
Yep.
like late at night and everything. And like winding that car out with the all-wheel drive feels fucking excellent. And not only that, with the headlights that turn, they're so fast and everything, like they react to the steering wheel. Like it makes driving that thing at night a fucking charm. When you get to wind it out. But just like outside the other stuff, like no matter what I do with the seating position and I moved it back up, like everything, like it's just like no. So like as a whole, like that car has just been like a net negative for me. So I don't know if that's one of those where it's like maybe I just got too comfortable driving trucks and SUVs and stuff like that over the past couple of years leading up to this. Because I did have that Tundra for a couple of years and I fucking loved that thing.
You had the Explorer for a little while, too.
Yeah, I enjoyed both the Explorers too.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's like one of the two vehicles, I think, you didn't have too much bad to say about.
Yeah. The GMC sucked. Because I had that white GMC.
thing, but you got like a real kind of cheap.
Yeah,
one, though, so
I
that's-
bought the cheapest truck I could find at that point.
It was just I need this now, kind of.
Yeah, and that thing had its fair share of problems. Like, there was some like so I had a 2017 single cab GMC Sierra in Vegas. Matt saw it, the white one,
Yeah.
and like so considering that's the exact same truck as what Sean's old black single cab GMC Sierra was.
Yep.
That thing had all the same problems that Sean's truck had in 2003.
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds
how
about
you
right.
guys didn't fix this. So like I had stock wheels and everything, and like just the angle of the drive shaft meeting where it meets the differential, because it's something like that. It's at this weird angle. It's what causes the death wobble at like 70 miles an hour. If you've ever driven Sean's
okay.
old truck,
No.
because remember that thing like you'd be going about 65 miles an hour, it'd start to wobble, and then once you go over 80, it would just smooth back out
Yeah.
again.
Has like that weird spot.
Yeah. And that's not because like the wheels are unbalanced. No, that's literally just like where the differential meets the subframe and the transmission, and it's like some sort of harmonic imbalance that creates that.
Oh.
And like shit like that truck had the same issues. At one point we bled the brakes with like completely bled the brakes like 3 times, checked all the pads were good, the rotors were fine and everything, and that thing did not want to stop. Like I would be foot to the floor standing on it, and it's like it's not even stopping.
Yeah, that's like
Like
that's
that
sweat.
that was like
Sweat.
we're done. But like
I wonder what that was about.
I don't know.
Like a pinch line or something stupid.
That was no, dude. Like we went all through that.
Yeah.
Like me and Andrea, like at the time, like we went all through. We couldn't find a fucking thing wrong with that truck. So it just kind of turned into like, you know what? We're just gonna get rid of it. And that's when I got the Mustang. And like, I loved that Mustang. I loved that. That was an awesome car. But then obviously I got rid of it because we bought the house, needed another truck and everything. And then like I got that Tundra, and fuck, dude, that Tundra was awesome. I miss that thing.
Too bad it wasn't 4-wheel drive. You
Yeah.
would have never even bought another car.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
If that thing was 4-wheel, I'd still be driving it. Even with like the horrible gas prices, I'd still be driving it.
They
because
even
it
make
was,
a 2-wheel drive Tundra.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All trucks still have a 2-wheel drive.
Do
one.
they?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they
Whenever you
don't-
see them advertised for like dirt cheap.
It's two-wheel.
Yeah,
two-wheel drive.
It's gonna be
they
like
basically
your-
make the two-wheel
yeah.
drive model to lure you in with the low price.
Yeah, but like, let's be real.
Like around here, you're never gonna see them.
when was the last time you saw a two-wheel drive truck outside of like an old C10 or
Yeah,
an old
seriously.
Ford?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I saw a '94 Ranger that was two-wheel drive. That
Yeah,
was- that was,
exactly.
like, the
Oh,
You know
last
what?
one.
I meant to say it. I think I saw a Hilux coming into the gas station.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I just got gas. Over
Cool.
at,
The guy over in Hudson's had a couple.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was like this awful green color.
You know what else he had? He had one of the old Land Cruisers with the diesel, with the 22 RE, which is the same
That's
one
cool.
that came in the old Hilux, the diesel one. That's the one that like it don't care. It's just gonna keep running. You
Oh,
take
yeah.
the oil pan off, and the
Yeah.
22 RE is just gonna keep running.
That's like somebody rolling up in a dump truck and saying like, "Oh, that's got a a Detroit diesel in it," and you're like, "Oh, okay." Well, how you don't even ask how many miles it has 'cause it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
just gonna keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's like cast steel, iron, thick,
Oh yeah,
heavy
yeah.
parts. It just doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It's a big old boy.
They're like, but it might run away on you.
It might.
It might.
Yeah, and if you have one of the old two-stroke ones, they sound like they're about to
Oh.
take off.
I like because you have to just
Yeah,
go
but they're
max-
cool though.
Oh, they are
max
awesome.
RPMs.
Don't get me wrong. If you ever
Yeah.
if you like watching big truck videos, look up anything with like those
Yep.
two-stroke Detroit diesels,
Yeah.
especially with them
watching
shifting
dudes-
it. Oh, it's
Yeah,
so badass.
There's just one like farmer dude. He's just like got the Canadian tuxedo going on,
Oh hell
and
yeah.
he's got the old twin stick.
Oh,
And like one of
jeez.
them is actually coming out of the floor like this with like the high low on it, and
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
one is just like over here regular.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys you can tell like he's just got all that experience driving, and his feet are just doing weird stuff the whole time. You're like,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't even know what you're doing.
I always love
Yeah.
seeing it when it's like they basically just take both hands off the wheel to shift, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that is a skill I will never acquire.
You ever
Yeah.
see the couple
It's
guys who
amazing.
have the triple stick?
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah, I've
like
seen that.
I
And
don't.
they're shifting all three. It's like, what do you?
I don't get it.
I don't know what you're doing.
It is a skill all its own. Hats off to
Yeah.
anybody who's still doing that. But
Yeah.
you know, there's a reason they simplified those shifters.
There,
I know.
like, there's a point where it's like, fuck. But you know what? If you go drive that for like 100 miles, you're gonna struggle. Once you get about 100 miles, and you'll be like, all right, I understand it. And like, go do 10,000 miles in one of those, you'll never even think about it again.
Well, I was gonna say once you get rolling, it's like you're fine. You just don't stop.
yeah, yeah.
Because then it's grind until you find them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
I know my fair share of grinding. Ugh.
But yeah, I don't know. I really want one of the new Tundras, but like the problem is like I want the TRD Pro, and they're pushing 70.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like
Jeez.
65 new, and then like before destination charges and stuff like that.
Damn.
I mean, car's almost paid off, so that's like 45, 50 sitting there. So
Yeah.
it's not like I don't have the money. It's just like I don't know if I want to spend that much more money on it right now, especially not with the way everything's going. But at the same time, it's like you get one of those new Tundras with the hybrid, and it's like it's just about matching the mileage. Only
Right.
even though they're turbos, they're V6 turbo, you can put regular in them. You don't have to put premium in them.
Oh, that's nice.
But so that's one of those ones where it's like if the car does 22.5 and the Tundra's rated from like it's like rated from like 19 to 24 with the hybrid, right? Until you, like if you go TRD Pro, obviously it comes down because you're putting bigger wheels and tires on it. Like the TRD
Yeah.
Pro comes with like 34s on it, like 34-inch tires on it or something like that. And that like drops it down a little bit. But like you're gonna with how I drive and everything, I'd literally match the mileage of what I'm doing in this STI, and I'd only be putting premium in. Or I wouldn't have to put premium in.
Right.
So like it would be some money back in my pocket in a way, except for it would still be a lot of money out of my pocket, only because I'd be going from
I was
like
gonna say, the
a
gas tank on
14
that
gallon
thing's gotta
to
be
a
pretty-
30-something gallon tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you could get a week and a half, 2 weeks out of it.
Yeah, I'd get 2 weeks out of it.
Yeah.
But I won't lie. That is the one thing I miss the most about Vegas is because like I don't like unless I was going to the racetrack or to the casino. Well, no, excuse me. Unless I was going to the racetrack, I didn't have a drive out like over 10 miles outside of going to the casino, and the casino was like 10.7 miles or some shit like that. So like we're talking fucking that 40-gallon tank in the Tundra would literally last me like 3 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
and that's driving it every fucking day to and from work and like around going grocery shopping and everything. So that is one thing I do miss about Vegas was like gas was pretty cheap in that like it was right there. Everything was right there. And if you don't have to drive more than 50, like I said, outside of going to the racetrack, which was like once a month for Vegas Drift at that point, is like we're talking. It's a rarity where I was driving over 15 minutes. That means I hit traffic.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know if I get one of those because that's basically Toyota's competitor to the Raptor. We might have to go find a spot and jump it in like the power lines or something.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yes.
Ooh, that might
No,
be
you
rough.
can't jump them like hard.
I was
Like,
gonna say like maybe a little jump.
yeah, no.
I
Like
like-
it's
I don't
like a little
care.
bit. Like you're only gonna come like 6 inches off the ground.
Like,
but
to me,
like,
when I
maybe.
look at the like commercials and they're just like jumping these trucks.
Oh,
and stuff,
yeah, no,
It's like
that-
what you didn't see
Is
is
the
either
landing.
that truck just wrecks after, or they put a lot of money into it. It's either.
Well,
or.
no, like the factory Raptors.
Well, I
Like-
know. At least like most of the factory like high end trucks, like you're not gonna be out there jumping those all day. Like a few, you're probably okay.
Yeah, here and there. Yeah, like the factory Raptors will handle that.
But
all day.
realistically, is anybody doing it?
No.
Maybe 1% of the owners.
God no.
Yeah, I mean out west it's different because everyone's right there in the desert.
Yeah, but
Like-
still, probably like 1 or 2% of people are
Yeah.
actually like romping on those things hard.
Yeah, no, like I took my trucks out into the desert and was just kind of doing stuff. Like I couldn't go too crazy because I only had the 2-wheel.
Yeah.
I didn't have a locker in the back. Like it was just kind of Toyota on the older trucks did like an ABS differential where it was just put the brakes in the wheel that's
use
spinning.
the brakes. Yep.
Um,
I was gonna say that's pretty common nowadays.
yeah, but like the truck was capable enough. So, and like I definitely spun more than my fair share of donuts and stuff in the dirt with
Yeah.
that truck. Same with the GMC. The GMC did hella donuts for
Oh,
a
yeah.
while.
If it's good for something, it's
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Anyways, enough about my week.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
think that was more than
So,
your week.
Alex, how was your week?
Oh, it was good. I gotta like reconstitute. Now I'm just thinking
You
about
got car
trucks and
parts?
jumping. Yeah, I got car parts.
Actually, got car parts last weekend and this weekend.
Yes.
You did.
So
I don't know if we
last
talked
week
about
it took months. I think we already talked about it, but I got the fog lights in. Got those in. That's why I was late last week. Fast forward a few days after that. Let's see. Which would be Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Was payday, so that means spend money day.
Yep.
Realistically, like everybody else does. Yeah, Matt knows. I bet payday comes and he's like, "Which car needs parts this week?"
That's
Yep.
every
Oh, yeah,
Friday
it
at
is.
FedEx.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the
every,
one thing I
every
mi-
Friday, it's just like, all right, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I
well,
miss that
And it's
so much,
gone.
getting a paycheck every Friday over versus every other week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's every other week. So, well, I mean, once you get used to that, though, it's like you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
learn how to balance the money differently.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was 20-year anniversary for my work. So we had like a little party and everybody got a bonus actually. So that was cool.
Perfect.
Oh,
that's
nice.
awesome.
So that little bonus, and plus it was like 4th of July sale on the headlight bulbs I wanted to get. So I
Oh,
needed
yeah.
to buy 4 of them, and people are gonna cringe at this, but they're about $100 a piece. I needed the high beams and or
Oh, yeah,
running
yeah,
lights,
right.
and I needed the low beams.
Yeah, but you did all of it over though. That's the thing is like it's
Yeah.
not like a little bit. No, like you're doing everything over.
Yeah.
The
That-
Holly
that
ones
one.
for my truck are $200 each.
What?
And
Oh
need
yeah, because
4
you
of
got a
them.
big crazy like
It's
housing
like
and
the-
stuff too, right?
Yeah. Well, no, you don't. I think it's just the bulb, and it's like it's plug and play.
Well,
they
yeah,
say.
and that
Yeah,
means you
so
also have to
all
have the
the stuff's in
ballast
it.
and everything
Yeah.
like that.
So it's got like a whole thing. Some of those have like a radiator almost thing on the back.
Yeah,
like
it's the
a-
ballast.
That's crazy.
It's
Basically
like the
what-
controller thing. It's letting the electricity go in smoothly. Because like if it's not originally meant to like use LEDs or whatever with the system, you
Yep.
need clean power going through
Yeah.
it. Just
Yep.
like what you were talking
Yeah,
about. That.
the UPSs. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the same.
Kind of like
thing.
that on a much smaller
But,
scale.
It's not a battery or anything, but it just makes sure that LED is getting properly powered.
Yeah.
yeah. The ballast is basically just like a DC to DC converter to just clean it up for the car. Because like older cars, especially, like it's all running DC off of that fucking alternator. But that alternator is speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down.
It's pretty
So-
dirty power. Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Dirty
feeds.
power.
Dirty power.
It just feeds it into the ballast box, which just kind of cleans up the signal. Because LEDs were like they don't take a lot of power, but they need the power to be consistent the whole time. Because if the
Yeah.
power is not consistent, it'll start to flicker or turn off and everything. That's why you need the ballast box, and like that's why some cars like you don't need any of that because the car is made to have that from the factory.
right.
Like
And actually, what I found out today too is you probably already know it, but even with that ballast, because the lights I bought, they have everything like you plug it in here to the car, has the ballast, has the lights, all connected together.
Yep.
You don't have to buy extra crap. But there's certain makes and models of cars that even with that, you need an flicker module
Yep.
thing
Oh,
to even then
dude.
clean up the power even more.
Yep.
Because
Jeez.
Which is basically just capacitors.
For-
so
so-
the second a capacitor charges up, and the second the circuit sees a drop in voltage, it unloads
the
the
power.
capacitors.
Yeah.
That's what that does.
yeah, but I know
So-
at least our cars. Not that you're going to be changing, and you can't anyways, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but I have
I-
the best ones, and
yeah,
that's
you have
that's the one thing
LEDs anyways. But
that was one of the things I wanted to do was I'd like to do the different C light style, because once again it's like Circuit Demon. They have where you can get the C light or
You can
the
buy those-
Raptor Eye or whatever to be
Yeah.
RGB and stuff like that. And you can also get the inside of the LED
Mm-hmm.
bulb. You can get LED in there that'll also change the color of that.
yeah,
Just in the background if you don't have the light on.
yeah.
I was gonna do all of that with the car, but just
Yeah, you'd have to just buy. So they make ones that are basically taking yours off, and you'd have to get them. Because I
Yeah.
learned that actually, you can't change your headlight bulbs at all.
Yeah, no,
It's-
you're locked
You
in.
have to actually spend $1,500 for the whole housing, and that's just
Yeah.
Oh,
one
that
of them.
sucks.
That's
some,
one light.
Some people had like a Crosstrek with the same
Yep.
headlights, and they said, "Well, I got in an accident, and insurance wasn't going to help me or whatever, and it was only on one side." They said they spent $2,500 on
Mm-hmm.
one side of headlights.
Wow.
Probably amongst
Jesus.
some other repairs, but still.
Right,
it's
right.
Yeah,
miserable.
but you got to remember, those headlights they track.
Yeah.
So,
up and down too.
Yeah, up and down, and they follow the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So if you guys have never seen it at night, in my car, you just got to pay attention to it. It's one of those things where it's such a good feature that's in very very few cars because obviously it's complicated. But it's one of those ones where you just stop thinking about it. You don't even notice it. It just makes driving it that much easier, especially at night. But you just you subconsciously forget about it because all of a sudden you just okay, so the road's turning right. So you start to look right because you're following the road, and the light's already there.
Yep.
And then okay, as you're coming around the corner and you're just shifting your vision back to straight ahead as you're going back down the road, the light's already there, and it's focused already right there. That is one of those things that fucking every vehicle should have. Period.
Yeah. They actually make a.
Well, preferably one that doesn't require the entire assembly to be replaced when you want to
Yeah,
put
yeah.
new bulbs in it.
Well, at least the one good thing is it's LED.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
most likely, especially in your case, if you're getting rid of it, you're never going to replace it unless it actually breaks.
Yeah.
Or something happens.
Yeah.
But it's still that factor of, maybe I have 50,000 hours of life on it. But what
See,
if it
I'm just
dies
one of
at-
those weirdos that it's how is that going to hold up at 100,000 miles?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in that.
Yep.
But
I'm the same way.
yeah.
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 I mean,
but-
I see stuff on my car that I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to enjoy that while I have it because I know it's going to break and I'm not going to bother to fix it because it's going to be too expensive.
Yeah.
That button is just going to stop working someday and I'm just
Yeah.
going to have to deal with not having it.
yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
That's a good way to do it because at least some people are like, oh, well, maybe I don't have a lot of time with this or a lot of function out of this object. I better not use it.
No,
And,
you
what's
might
the
as well
point?
use
Because-
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Use it until it dies and then, find something else to enjoy.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. Exactly.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to ask you.
Boomerang.
When I-
Back to James's week.
No. This is 30
Still
seconds.
got him through
When it
the
comes
other-
back around, when I go to get rid of the vehicle, do you want the shift knob and the lockout? I know it's burned titanium,
No, it's not the.
but
Thank you for the offer, but no,
okay,
I don't like that. I wouldn't like it all the time.
all right. I'm just
Not my
asking.
preferred knob to hold in the hand.
I'm just asking. and as you know, it's having the longer knob on there. Just it made it a lot nicer.
No, I did
But
like it. It wasn't
that's-
bad. It didn't feel like what I thought it would
You
feel
know.
like, but I think I like an actual knob.
Yeah. I'm just saying because there's $400 there between the shift knob and the reverse lockout.
Yeah.
But obviously they're burned titanium, so it's got that color, that
Yeah.
blue
Yeah,
red
yeah.
color. Looks really good. I like it. That's just me.
I'm gonna try to make one. Well, having the wood shop and literally
Oh.
lathes.
Yeah.
Then I
Nice.
was thinking of another idea. I started scheming.
I mean, Travis has got a metal lathe right
Scheming.
there
Yeah.
too, so everything you
We
need
could
is
make
right
our
there.
own nuts.
Ugh.
Hold on though. If I'm making the shift knob knob, and then you manufacture your own nuts, you're now fully
Oh,
independent.
nuts.
Nuts.
No,
You come over and just
Oh, God. I
Cranking the
hate you
nut.
so much.
And then you've got to have like the torque noise.
Oh,
we gotta crank our nuts down. Just
yeah, clamp your nuts down.
Yeah, mine are 50 foot-pounds.
yeah.
Ooh,
Whoa, that's a lot of foot pounds.
That's a lot of foot-pounds. My, my last 300 I had, the Chrysler? The wheel nut torque for those was 130. I was like, what is this?
Nice.
Wow.
And the I think we were putting the heads on the 350 in the Firebird. It was like, I think it was like 95 foot-pounds and then like 90 degrees.
Holy
Oh.
crap!
So it was like clink clink.
Oh,
And then
jeez.
I'm like,
Holy
what is that, like 150?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And you had like 12 bolts on each side, so that shit wasn't coming off. And if it did, then you broke the inside.
Yeah,
I
something
mean,
else is
It
very,
cracked
very
the
wrong.
heads. I don't know.
You need an
Yeah.
Ugga Dugga.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
way.
You're
You
gonna
ever
need a couple
see
of
them redo the top fuel engines?
Yes.
They put them on with a 1/2 inch impact.
Oh my.
And then a guy goes over there with a torque wrench this long and just goes click, clink, clink, clink.
dogs. Yeah.
And they're all on studs too, that
That's
are like
awesome.
an inch thick.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch those guys and they've got the air gun and like they just kind of wait for it. The air compressor stops and they put the gun on and they just hold the gun on until the air compressor starts again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah,
Just
last time I looked,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, next bolt.
they
Wait
had
for the
like
compressor to run. Yeah.
yeah, it's basically yeah. One dude like slaps it on, the next guy just comes over, and is like yeah, tung 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 tung,
Yeah.
and it's like oh that's a head bolt like
Yeah, that's
that-
I mean,
just fuck it. They're
you're
only gonna be on
talking-
there for 5 minutes.
4,000 plus horsepower for like 5 seconds.
10.
yeah, it's like 10,000
10,000.
horsepower. It-
Well, I
Yeah,
said
it's a little-
plus.
It's a little bit more.
You want to know how they measure the power in those? This is like a really weird factoid. They can't measure the power in those with a dyno because it would just shred
It
it
wrecks
to
the dyno,
pieces.
right? Yeah.
So they have to use a really high-speed camera and measure the way the tire buckles when it takes off.
Yeah.
That's actually
Oh.
how they measure the
Huh.
power on those things.
Huh.
See, I thought I saw. I felt like there was some dyno out there that could.
There
maybe,
might be. They might. They
but
might
I don't
be.
think there's a lot of them.
Probably
Yeah.
these crazy new engine dynos could.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, probably.
But how many people have one of those engine dynos?
That's the thing. It's like there's
Like
probably
Holly might have one.
a few shops where all of the racers go. They
Yeah.
just all
Like
go there.
that's what I'm saying. Is like Holly might have one.
Yeah.
Red Bull might have one. For like
big
the F1
companies,
stuff.
yeah.
Like yeah, like
Oh, yeah, the F1 teams, I mean, their budget is almost unlimited. So, yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they each have one or have access at least to
every
one.
team has one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I was actually watching something on F1, and obviously they all have their own like warehouses that are just like immaculate shop space.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I was watching. Actually, no, it wasn't on F1. It was MotoGP.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
these guys had like just the whole place was just white. Floor was white, ceiling, everything super clean.
Yep.
And they were doing like a teardown on one of their bikes, and literally everything is in that one little room. Like they can throw it on a little dyno. They have a nice lift. They have all these parts very well organized to like a washer.
That's the nice part
And-
of doing motorcycles.
yeah.
Is like you don't have as many parts.
No, you can rip the whole thing apart, and
Yeah.
you cover just half a room with pieces or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was just super cool seeing how like neat everything was. But
yeah.
what a tangent that was.
Yeah, I was going
So,
to say,
anyways, I
what else
installed.
happened this
I
week?
ordered up Thursday back to payday. There's a sale on the lights, so I got I think 15% or 10% off each one. So I got like $60 off total,
Nice.
which was good. And it turns out I could find them on Amazon, and Amazon went, "Well, do you want free Prime for a week?" Yep. Click that.
Yeah,
So-
Prime Day is
Coming up, I think.
Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
Prime Day.
no, Prime Day's
Prime
two.
Day.
No, Prime Day is the same day Jaren leaves.
What is Prime Day?
Oh.
Prime Day is they put hella discounts on anything on Amazon.
Oh,
for
nice.
Prime. Primarily,
Nice.
like the only thing you're really gonna buy that's a good deal on Prime Day is like their own stuff. So like if you want Kindles or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, that's the day to do it. But other than that, like it's mostly just cheap crap. The one thing I can say about Prime Day is like watch the tech deals, look at them, like actually go through and scroll through them. A couple years ago, they had an M.2 2 terabyte SSD that was like I think it was like $150 for a 2 terabyte.
Wow.
But
That
like
is a good price.
it's
Maybe I'll
sold
buy
out
one
in
of
5
those.
minutes.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
So like when it comes to Prime Day, like you got to look at it all ahead of time and see what all the deals are, and then you set an alert on your phone and you get ready to be right at your computer for when that happens, because like it's gonna go like that.
Yep.
But other than that, like Prime Day is just kind of whatever. I'm just saying. I was debating buying a Kindle, but apparently you can. Apparently, if you want to read manga and comic books and stuff like that that are in black and white, it's pretty good. It's pretty good to use a Kindle for.
Oh, like the old school like paperweight Kindle?
Yeah.
Or- oh yeah. Yeah, those are pretty neat.
Nice. I'm glad you said that though, because like I was telling you yesterday, there's like a little part of me that might jump on the bandwagon, like our buddy Jeremy standing behind the camera, and maybe I'll build a computer too.
Hey,
Do
But,
it.
but if by Prime Day I see some fancy 2 terabyte solid state, I'll be like, oh, well, that's the first part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean,
you kickstart it.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a big name, like a big huge name brand. Like it wasn't like a Samsung or anything like that. It was like an Intel 660p or like a Crucial like MX 500. Like
I was
just
gonna say the
kinda
Intel
generic.
ones are bad. I don't know about Crucial, but the Intel ones are
Well,
they're
dude.
made pretty well.
The 660p's, like just the 3.0, like the PCIe 3.0 ones.
Yeah.
I have multiples of those in all of my computers, and every computer I've built has at least one of those Intel 660p's. Yeah, they're not the fastest M.2 SSD around, but they're fucking tanks.
Yeah.
This one's got 2, as a matter of fact.
You know what though? When it comes to me and at least computers, until I upgraded my PS4 with a solid state, I'd never owned one in any computer I had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just predisposed to it loads slow or it takes a little while to start up.
right.
So like now that I have like I
You
had
get
the
spoiled
PS4,
real
and now,
easily,
and now that I
yeah.
have
Yep.
the PS5, that's like pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not ever not having one again.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
Period.
what's crazy is I remember I bought a 250 gigabyte SSD when it was $500.
yeah.
they
They were
first came
so
out.
expensive.
When
Oh,
it
yeah.
first came out, and I just remember like all of a sudden it was from when I pressed the button on the computer to where I was sitting at my desktop ready to go, and everything had loaded up was like 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like I just remember at that point it was like I will never build a computer where the main drive is not an SSD ever again. Period.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that
no,
was it.
That used to be the old tactic, right? Even I'm not a big computer nerd, but even I knew like, okay, just get a small SSD, put your essential startup stuff on it,
Yeah. Put Windows and like
and
maybe
then
a couple.
everything else, just dump it in something else. And
Yeah. I mean that was because that was the way for a while because those things were so expensive.
Yeah.
expensive,
Like
yeah.
if you wanted something affordable, like I remember building a computer like around the time those started becoming available for like 2.5 inch.
Well, remember they
hard
also had the
drives?
hybrid drives.
Yeah, those were kind of stupid. I owned one and I hated it. Your
I mean-
mileage really may vary, but I mean this thing was a 4 gig SSD attached to a hard drive. It was freaking worthless.
Yeah, it was just there to boot up. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, You might as well just get a conventional hard drive with a super fat cache.
Yeah.
But no, I built a computer for someone and I gave it a whopping 60 gig SSD, 2.5 inch form factor because it was way before M2s. And man, you see, I originally was predisposed to not using them because that thing failed in a month, and I was just like, these things are worthless. But like the brand names hadn't really like kind of rolled in yet. It was still
Yeah.
kind of like a free for all. You know, you had like SanDisk making some, and I think the one I actually had was like OCZ or something, like the RAM company, and it was
Yeah,
just, they like it was such a free for all. But nowadays it's like Samsung, Intel, Western Digital. If you buy, and I guess Crucial might be like a fourth. If you could buy any of those, like either it's going to last you forever, or if it doesn't, the warranties are good enough on them that you
Yeah.
can get them exchanged pretty easily.
yeah.
So, especially with Western Digital, like I know, like technically it's not them making it; they're buying someone else's crap and then putting their name on it. But because they're putting their name on it, they're also attaching their customer service, and their customer service is pretty good.
Yeah, the one thing I will say when it comes to SSDs is like, I haven't had any of the Intel ones fail, so I've
Yeah.
never dealt with their customer service. I had one of the Samsung ones fail, a 980 Pro, like an actual,
Oh,
an actual 4.0,
Yeah,
PCIe 4.0 one that was fast as fuck. I dialed up Samsung on the phone. I was like, yeah, my SSD died, blah, 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 blah. They just sent me a new one.
Yeah.
Just send me a new one. Like, I didn't have to return the old one. They're like, yeah, we'll just send you a new one.
Yep.
Like, they just wanted to know the transaction from, like, Newegg
Yep.
to prove that I had it, like, that I bought it. And they're like, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, a lot of the hard drive companies are actually, like, at least for the consumer grade stuff, they're that good. Like, I only used to buy Western Digital, like, mechanical drives because their customer service was so easy to deal with. It's like, all right, just give us the serial number and we'll have a new one sent out immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
I think it's
Perfect.
the point where a lot of the companies are like, that's going to cost us more to have you ship it back because we're going to end up paying for it or whatever. They're getting the label.
And the margins
They're
are
just
so
like, "Here you go."
thin that it's like, you know, if they slight even one customer, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So, because all it takes is a little bit of bad press to get out there, and all of a sudden, you're not selling units because they can just buy some other brand that's like $3 cheaper or $3 more expensive.
Yeah.
That's literally and there's whole videos on that. Like Linus has said it, Paul's Hardware, and a bunch of other ones have said it. Is like when it comes to tech, the margins are fucking razor thin on every single part.
Yep.
That's why they're so ravenous about the parts and everything, and like these brand names and trying to get people to be brand loyal. And why like that's why people will like stick with Asus only.
Yeah.
Or like Gigabyte only. Like I had an Asus board. I loved it. That was an absolutely excellent board. But like when it comes down to it, I'm always using the Gigabyte main board.
Yeah, I am the same way. I love the Asus feature set. I love their board aesthetics are usually really, really good. Their support is amazing. Like you know, I've never found an Asus board I can't find drivers for. Like it's awesome. But at the end of the day, that Asus board's going to be dead, like right at the edge of the warranty.
Yeah.
The Gigabytes, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm just lucky or because motherboards really is like luck of the draw. Like 50% of them are DOA.
Yeah.
So it's like you really are like you're playing Russian roulette no matter what you do.
God, that sucks.
Oh, it's bad. Well, because like there's so many things on that one circuit board.
Yeah.
And all it takes is like one of them to be out of place, and that whole board is dead.
And that's the thing is like I don't know, like I've just had Gigabyte boards that have withstood the test of time better than the others.
Yeah.
I will say this.
I don't know what it is.
Like the Strix, like the E board, like normally it's like because I've been playing the whole the AMD game ever since Ryzen came out.
Yeah.
I always go for like the X70E, like Strix E board. I don't go to the Maximus, I don't go to the Hero. I go for the E.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like that mid-tier board from them. And like, dude, it's way better driver support and everything than the Gigabyte boards. And, and like way better than MSI.
MSI's support page, like, man, I used to swear by them, but it has just gotten so bad lately. I don't know. They load their page down with so much like flash and like stupid font faces and stuff.
It's painful.
Oh, it is such a pain in the ass to navigate their websites.
Yeah, the only one I've ever heard, like, the only other one I've heard as good as stuff from when it comes, as like you and I are talking about Gigabyte, which is just our luck of the draw with Gigabytes.
Right. Yeah. Like this is not like, I mean, I'd love to get like any sort of Gigabyte sponsorship, but I understand like buy whatever brand has worked for you.
Yeah.
Like don't let us sway you. We're just sharing our experiences.
Yeah. But like the only other one I've never tried is ASRock. And ASRock has like a cult following on the high end, on like the Tai Chi high end.
Well, see, because I'm used to using the bad ASRocks, and they are so freaking weird. Okay, I remember having this board. It was a Core, so socket 775. So it was like a Core 2 Duo board, but it had both DDR2 memory slots and DDR3 memory slots.
That's a bad deal.
Couldn't have them both populated at the same time, but if you wanted to run DDR3, technically you could. And I, to the life of me, still don't understand who that's meant to appeal to. Because if you had a Core 2 Duo board, just get DDR2 RAM.
Yeah,
it was like $20 for 4 gigs. Why were you spending $80 for DDR3? It wasn't any faster.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it, listen to me.
Well, like the worst part of it was like even like when they were working properly, those boards maybe had a lifespan of like 8 months. Like and it was like $40 on Newegg. So of course people bought it. Like it was just such garbage.
I was just saying their high-end boards have like a cult following.
Yeah.
I've never understood it.
Well, I was going to say ASRock in general has a cult following because they so there's like a lot of manufacturers over in like mainland China that specialize in these very weird kind of esoteric, like you'll find modern boards, like so you'll find like AM4 boards that have like AGP on them.
Yeah.
Like they have all sorts of weird stuff, but they're only sold over there because
Like you go to Shenzhen for that.
yeah, like realistically, like you're not going to sell 100 of those boards here in the States. But over there they sell them a lot. So ASRock is like the one brand that sells that weird stuff here in the States. So you'll occasionally like on their low end stuff, like again, their high end stuff, it's probably fine. I feel like once you spend more than like $150 on a motherboard, it's probably going to be pretty good, regardless of who makes it. But man, like look at their $40 boards. just have a laugh. It's just crazy.
Anyways,
sorry, yeah,
what
another hijack tangent.
We gotta stop talking about tech so much because we just
Okay.
get lost. You and I
Look,
get lost in it,
hold
and
up,
these guys
hold
are
up.
like,
Wait, I've got one more thing to add to your tech conversation.
Go on.
It's not a big thing, but it's two little things. I
Yeah.
brought that computer for you.
Oh hell yeah.
Number two, it has a Gigabyte board on it.
ooh,
I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah.
And miraculously, as you'll see later, like I opened the cover out of it because I was just gonna clean it. I just like kind of wiped off the outside, got the cobwebs off it. I'm like, this thing's probably so full of shit, and it was like almost fucking brand new on the inside. I was like, what the hell? This has
Yeah,
been
I saw the
sitting
case.
for
There's one of those
years.
old Raid Max Smilodons, which
Yeah.
that was a cool case. Back in the day.
those cases.
It was
I don't
cool.
know. Everybody seemed to have one.
Yeah, it was neat.
I built one for my sister actually in the Smilodon.
Yeah, and everything like just like all the stuff I was opening and closing like still work nice.
Yeah,
So I'm like, maybe it's still a solid computer. Who knows?
Like,
I know the power supply's on its way out. That was the
That's
last
fine. I
thing
do
I
have some
remember.
spares that
But,
I could slap
Yeah,
in
you might
there.
be able to make some weird thing out of that computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember one time I put Crisis on.
Oh,
And,
yeah?
I don't. Did anybody play through
Oh,
Crisis?
I know
all the way?
Crisis. Yeah.
Okay, so you know when you're on the battleship
Yeah.
and the fucking like mothership comes up,
Oh yeah.
my computer did not freeze. It turned off.
Oh.
It was
yeah.
just like-
That's probably a power supply.
It was just like,
Yeah.
oh no, that was early in its life. I mean, like, I think I had the graphics on like half, maybe 70%, and that thing came up, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. It looks so good, and I'm like, why did everything stop? It was just like
jeez.
instant, like computer, like it didn't kill itself, but it took a sedative for a few minutes.
So
Ugh.
the secret behind Crisis is that it was so poorly optimized that game permanently struggled because it only ran on a single CPU core.
correct.
And that's why it was always so hard and it had so many issues like that because all of a sudden you would go to process something like that and it would have to hit the power supply for absolutely every single last ounce. And if you don't have like one of the higher end ones that have like the safety capacitors or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I forget what they call that feature on them now. It would just like that's why your computer just shuts down.
Well,
It got
it's
hit
like-
with a load so hard.
My
it
computer was just like, fuck this.
yeah.
Well, because like at that point, like everybody was transitioning to. No, this is stupid. We don't need to go
Yeah,
down
yeah,
this
no,
rabbit
no.
hole. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
how was
We're
this?
done, we're
Fast
done.
forward,
Yeah.
rewind. Okay, so I got my headlights. They came in literally a few hours ago, and like it never happened, right? The conversation.
Yeah.
didn't
Go
happen.
on. Go on. Headlights. Cool.
So basically, I spent 2 or 3 hours in the morning, just staring at my phone, watching like a GPS tracking of this dude driving around with my package. I'm like, this is
Oh
weird.
yeah.
And then I like got like hooked into it. I'm like, oh, swipe, refresh the page. Oh, it's been 5 minutes. He's still in the same place. Come on, scan a package, buddy. Where are you? And eventually, like the last time I looked, he was on my road. I was just like, oh, there he is. Perfect. And so you got those. I think I got them by like 11:30, and by 1 o'clock, I had them all installed, adjusted, everything back in the car, good to go.
Sweet.
Nice.
So we'll see tonight how they are. But one thing I'm definitely liking about all the lights I've gotten I've been buying lights for the interior of my car and the front, all from the same company.
Yeah.
I've just
Yeah, that's
became
awesome.
like a Diode Dynamics whore. So please give me free stuff. You hear me?
Yeah.
Because I've given you a lot of money this month.
Oh yeah. Literally any company like
Yeah.
just sponsor us. Please.
Yeah.
I don't care
Like, can
what
I
it
get
is.
a T-shirt or something, guys? Like,
Yeah.
at this point, I'm gonna go full ham. I might as well do the blinkers and side markers. Like, spend another $100 on that, whatever.
Just
But,
send it. You got to do it.
yeah, I'm gonna send it. I've got the sticker on my
They'll
car
give you.
now.
They'll sponsor you by the time you like when all you have left to do is the marker lights.
Yeah, you know what? That is what I have to do. The marker lights and the turn signals. But I should put in the notes box like special instructions they always have. Like, please give me a size medium T-shirt. Just like, please give it to me.
Cool.
Look at my transaction history, please.
Marker light, dude.
Sweet.
One day I'm gonna go marker light Marker light crazy on the Suburban, and just like every
Were you
place,
working on it
every
today?
place that can get a fucking marker light's gonna get a marker light. No.
Were you
It,
working on a vehicle today?
No.
Okay, because there's a grease mark on your.
Oh,
on
that
your
was
arm.
probably from the other day.
I was gonna say, like I know where you've been.
I wish I could see it, but this camera might be able to see
Yeah,
it.
you can't really
I
see it.
can't
It's a
see
weird
it,
spot on
but
your
you guys
arm.
can see it. But yes, I was working on something one of these days.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I tested him out in the barn.
Yeah.
That's how I lit him up because I realized I went over to my dad. I'm like, hey, like how long's like the barn? He goes, oh, well, it's 36 feet, like outside diameter. I'm like, okay, I need 25 feet to adjust the headlights properly because
Yeah.
you just put some tape on the wall and whatever.
Right.
So I have them adjusted properly, I guess. But like, I've never seen lights literally make like a razor blade line.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean,
That's what
these
LED
things
does.
are sharp. And I turn the fog lights on, and it's like almost this weird, perfect, like mating of light. You know, like the
Oh.
headlights are here, and then the fog lights are just below it. And I have this interesting like blue horizon where they meet.
Oh,
It's kind of
cool.
cool. But what I wanted to do is have all the lights matching like color temperature or whatever.
Right.
So coming from the same place is making the same like LED board. It's like one nice, thing.
Right on.
But that's cool. So that's what I did.
That was your week.
We
Oh, no,
didn't
that
talk
was-
about games. Nobody talked about games yet.
No.
So I picked up Gauntlet again, one of the newer ones. I think we were talking about
Yeah,
last night.
I think we did on the stream.
Been messing around in that, and I always forget like how much you die in those games, and it's so easy
yeah.
to die.
Oh yeah.
Um, Played that up a little bit, and just downloaded or updated Final Fantasy 14 again.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna binge that. I just kind of like logged into my character earlier. Went
Yeah.
to the mailbox, and I'm like, wait a minute. I remember I used to sell a lot of stuff. So I went on the auction. I'm like, oh, 141,000 like gold. I'm like, cool.
Nice.
And then I logged out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna wait till like Sean logs on and be like, can you tell me how to play this again? Because I got this action bar with abilities, and I don't know what they do.
Right.
And then he's gonna go, no, I don't have a samurai. And we're like, all right, it's fair.
Yeah.
I'll pick it back up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Matt, what did you do?
Uh,
The rest of the episode's yours, as far as I'm concerned.
now I gotta figure out what.
Well, Eddie didn't really do his week either.
I mean,
Oh,
my week was pretty
Eddie.
much just spent
Yeah.
filming. So
Eddie,
Go on.
Eddie's week is being the filmer guy.
no, like yeah.
no,
we,
here filming literally.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
We'll get to my week. What was
We'll get
your
to my
week
week.
like? Yeah.
I worked on my cars. I worked on my caddy a little bit, getting that cleaned up.
The red one.
Yep.
Nice.
Finally, like full committing on that thing and getting it out of the fucking garage.
Hell yeah.
So I've been working on that, just cleaning it up, basically.
Yeah.
What else did I do this week? That's pretty much literally like all I did. I worked on it like every single day.
We watched Bite.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we had. That's right. The
Oh, I forgot about that. That was
4th of
supposed to-
July was Monday. So
More,
we-
that was such a weird day. I was expecting to do literally nothing, and it turned into like. Well, first I asked you because in last week's episode you mentioned a sale about tools at Harbor Freight.
yeah, that's right. We went.
And
to
I
Harbor
realized
Freight.
I needed a heat gun. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, Matt, hey, you want to go to Harbor Freight with me? And he's like, yeah. And then James texted saying like, oh, hey, you guys want to film the intro and outro? And I was like, okay. So then it kind of
was a
just
good
became
idea.
like, we
Yeah.
basically
Yeah, we
all
should
just
just
went
toast
over to his house and
chilled and went
Fi-
to Harbor Freight.
yeah, we did the
yeah.
filming, went to Harbor Freight.
somewhere.
Then James had to take off, but then we stuck around and because we had to watch that movie.
So
Yes.
it's a shame.
yeah, you missed
It's
out.
a shame.
What?
It's a shame, and Eddie knows what I'm talking about. Matt didn't buy
Oh,
the
Jesus.
golden.
Oh, the
ratchet.
golden tool. Yeah.
Oh, they had a golden ratchet?
Yeah,
They
had a
did.
golden
Yes,
ratchet.
they have the golden ratchet.
They had a
It is
24
$60.
And Matt didn't buy the
$70.
golden
Oh, fuck.
ratchet.
It was
Two months
fuck.
ago.
You
I'm
say it
about
was
to go buy it.
$90?
No, it was $70.
No, it was 60.
70?
$69.99.
$69.99.
Yeah.
And you don't even use it.
20% off.
Yeah.
I would definitely
But
put
dude,
gold
it
ratchet.
was gold.
Trust me, I know where you're coming from.
It was gold.
My brain has been like rewired or something. Like,
It
it's just
was
like,
gold.
Like, he didn't even buy the golden bird beak washer. Like,
they need to just make it so that they have a gold version of everything, and then it'll be like, oh, but that's the gold version.
See that
then
that
you're
might
gonna have to
actually
collect
might
it.
make it worth
that
it.
would work.
Tool
yeah.
companies,
I mean-
if you're listening, 24 karat gold plate everything.
the
Yeah.
best part about that trip was just like me and Eddie and Ian. We're all pretty much done. And then we were just waiting on Matt. And we're just sitting there. But Matt, you got to get this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Matt, you got to get that.
You
And we
gotta
were
get the
just
3-inch
making up
Sigma
tools.
flapper. or something. Like we
trying
were
to,
just
like-
basically making up tool names.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what I want to use my coupon on, and I'm like trying to be like the most intelligent decision. And they're like, just buy this gold,
Gold
ratchet.
ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you got to do. So
Big
whenever I
brain.
get like I'm gonna call it extra or free money.
I'm like,
I
yeah.
usually spend it on the dumb shit I usually can't justify buying.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, oh well, whatever.
Gold ratchet, Matt.
I'm like,
Yeah,
you
think
guys
about it.
think like
you could have had
like,
a spare ratchet.
like what-
And it
what-
would have been gold.
I'll get the fucking gold ratchet one day.
So even
You
better,
damn right
you
you
should
will. I'll
get
get a-
the gold ratchet and use it a lot. Like beat the fuck out of it.
If I get the gold ratchet, I'm gonna get like one of those like lock boxes you keep a fucking like a fire
That's where you're gonna put your
extinguisher
golden
in.
spatula.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
you
I'm
can
gonna put a hammer next to it for emergencies.
Yeah, in case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah, in case of emergency, use the
You should get
gold
like
ratchet.
a polished chrome hammer, so just everything is just too nice to use.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, a gold-plated hammer.
Yeah.
yeah.
To go to
Also,
smash the box.
all right,
To smash the glass of a gold-plated box.
No,
No. He needs to have the gold-plated hammer to smash the gold-plated ratchet out of the box.
You have
But
to
the
smash the
gold-plated
Yes,
hammer
yes.
has to be in its own box,
Uh-huh.
which then has to be smashed by another tool.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you have to smash the gold-plated glass.
Okay. All right. So you gotta smash the box
That
open.
is some galaxy.
Then you
brain.
gotta smash the
Friggin-
gold hammer open.
Yeah.
Then you gotta use the gold hammer to smash the ratchet open.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
what-
is sounding
what if
like
they
a
had,
like a COD Zombies mini game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have to do this, and then you can teleport to the moon, or
And then
something.
you gotta turn on the power.
Yeah.
So what if like you got the ratchet out and then you had to get gold-plated bolts off of another box that opened up and it was a gold-plated impact. So you
All
just really
gold-plated
gotta-
impact sockets.
No, like the whole gun.
The whole gun.
Yeah.
Actually, a gold-plated impact gun would be pretty
would
fucking
be-
cool.
Can you imagine? Like,
That actually would be
imagine
kind of
going
cool.
up to like a garage and it's just like a mom and pop's place and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
just one guy that's just got a stupid grin on his face. He's just like, "Drr, drr," and it's just this shiny gold, like kind of worn out.
Yeah.
You know, he's been using it, but it's
Yeah.
just going
Somebody's
to
gonna
town.
make gold-plated fucking like plated impact sockets. They're all gonna shatter. And people are gonna be
Right.
like,
It's gonna blow up.
That shit probably already exists in like Dubai.
Yeah, that's
oh
probably
yeah,
true.
probably.
Like it's some weird. Yeah. Okay.
Using chrome sockets on an impact. If it breaks, it breaks.
If he does, he
does.
does.
He does.
Uh,
So we did. Oh yeah. Okay. So we went to Harbor Freight.
yep.
I did not buy the golden ratchet to their
Bullshit.
demise.
No, he did not. Yeah.
And then me and Eddie and Ian went home and we watched the endurance test of the movie Bite that we talked about.
Bite. That's right.
few times.
Did I just call it Wasp earlier?
Yeah.
We
You
might have called it
Yeah,
Wasp. Worst Bite.
I mean, it's yeah. No, it's called Bite.
So it wasn't the endurance test we thought it was going to be.
No, it was actually I thought it was a pretty enjoyable like B movie slasher flick.
Yeah, like it was an enjoyable, like it was worth the watch. It was worth just like watching it as like a slasher or whatever, like just
Yeah, if
horror
you're
movie
into
kind
like
of
those
thing.
kind of like cheesy horror movies, it was fine.
But it's not gonna like make you want to vomit.
No.
unless you like are really sensitive to that stuff.
Yeah,
or
if
whatever.
you're real squeamish, like it wasn't like I don't know. I've seen more gruesome movies.
like we thought it was gonna be The Fly on steroids, but The Fly was actually more
The
gross
Fly
for some
felt more gruesome,
I
I think,
haven't-
because the transformation was like a lot slower and more drawn out.
Yeah.
I've seen only like a few scenes of The Fly, but that one where he's like got the dude and he's just like slowly barfing on him.
Oh yeah,
I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that's gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like that slow hose of just like.
yeah. The Fly is the Fly like it's actually like creepy how it happens.
Yeah.
Whereas Bite, like, I mean, it starts off a little weird, but like before you know it, it's like, oh, transformation complete.
Yeah, like
Like,
the complete transformation took place like too early in the movie. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like a build up. It was just kind of like
yeah,
once
and at
you're
that point,
halfway
it was
there,
just like you're just watching this like happen and watching these stupid idiots get killed.
yeah.
Which again, you know, that is like the B
That's the
horror
point.
movie experience. So if you're into that, it's exactly what it says on the tin. And I will say, the conclusion of like that plot is just so sudden and
Yeah.
like it makes so much sense though that like it was glorious. I won't spoil it. So
Yeah, I won't say it.
Please
So
watch it.
what you're saying is they rushed it so hard that they just started square pegging it.
No, it didn't even feel rushed. Like I felt like it was a natural point to conclude. It's just like, you know, in a lot of horror movies, you get like, you know, oh, there's like this epic like clash between the
Yeah.
hero and the monster or the villain. And in most movies that's gonna be like a 15-minute sequence.
Yeah.
This movie, it's like seconds.
Yeah. It just like
It was over
just
so
ends, yeah.
surprisingly quick.
Yeah.
And I loved it for that. I thought that was like actually like it's hilarious.
yeah, it would definitely left your brain like what?
Like that what? We just watched this whole build up for that?
Yeah.
But again in a good way because like again, it's all about bugs and I don't know, seeing bugs die just like it really like stimulates my lizard brain. I love that. I love watching bugs.
Like I want to eat
die. Yeah. But so we watched that, and then
Another one we got to watch with an ending. It's not like that type of ending, but it's like another good ending where you're like, what? Have you ever heard of Midsommar?
Midsommar?
Yep.
No.
It's a cult movie.
Okay.
And,
I know what one.
it goes exactly where you're expecting it to. Everything that you expect to be there, it's there.
Okay.
And the ending's pretty great. You're like, what?
Okay.
But like, it's actually a pretty good movie. I think I watched it like twice in like a week. I watched it once, and then I was like to one of my friends, I'm like, you have to watch this.
Oh, okay.
And so she came over, and we're like, all right, we're watching this movie.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that
Midsommar.
one. Midsommar.
All right.
So yeah, that, and then I worked on the caddy. I've been getting it cleaned up, getting it ready for paint. I got to buy some paint supplies.
Yeah. Are you going to use your big air compressor to do the paint?
No, I've been using that with all the tools, but I don't have dry enough air for paint. I'd have to buy like another whole drying assembly.
Yeah.
For that.
So you know what you could do?
They're expensive. They're almost like another $1,000.
Oh my God.
They can be more than that. I mean, the dryer can be more than the compressor, depending on
Jeez.
what kind you get. But
So Travis and Sean painted Sean's truck,
did they?
and what they did, the black that you've seen it, that's their
Yeah.
paint job.
Oh wow.
So what they did is they didn't get a dryer. They got a bunch of the little little regulators with the
Water traps.
like water
Yeah.
traps.
Yep.
They took about 4 of those, and they got extra hose and connected them in a series, and they left the hose super, sagged like that to trap more water.
Yep.
And they just ran it around the whole garage, and just
It just
Plumbed
just
off of that.
until there was no water left in it. Basically.
Yeah, so literally
Yeah.
just like 4 of them. Like compressor hose, the regulator thing, compressor hose, regulator thing.
Yeah.
They did
Yep.
that about 4 times. I mean,
Yep.
obviously you got to have all the line, all the
Yeah.
little things, but maybe spend $100-$200 on that, whatever it is, instead of $1,000-$2,000 on some fancy dryer.
Yeah, you could. There's other ways you can see, like other dryers you can make. I don't remember. There's like all kinds of like do-it-yourself methods.
Yeah.
It could definitely be done. Like I could do it. I don't know if they've actually. I think they might now have on the POR website how to put it through a sprayer. I remember before they said you could probably do it, but we don't have the experience doing it to tell you how to do it. It'd be like it'd be like you're experimenting kind of a thing.
Oh, POR. That's like that rust.
Paint over
Yeah,
rust.
pour-
Right.
Pour
Okay.
15.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so
Now I know the stuff you're talking about.
I'm gonna roll it on and paint it on with a brush and whatnot.
I mean, really,
Yeah,
what I've heard is, I mean, not as much with automotive, but I mean, small airbrushes is you can put anything through that airbrush as long as it's thin.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter. So if you find whatever medium that crap is made out of, just put it in there and you'll
Yep.
be able to spray it.
Yeah, I'm sure it would definitely spray it.
Yeah.
It I got to drain all my water traps again. Eddie, you remember?
Oh yeah, the fetid nature of
Dude,
that. It really did spray some horrible mung. It was awful.
I have like a whole like copper system with water traps and stuff, and like a filter and all that. And when you drain those, it's either like a
Like a
mist,
couple drops,
a couple
maybe.
drops, maybe like a fine mist, but it's clear. It's not.
Until you get to the one
It's
like
clear.
the last one.
The last one, the one in the actual compressor at the bottom of the compressor.
Oh yeah, that thing is.
Dude, it's literally like diarrhea that comes out of that thing.
No,
It's
it is
fucking
awful.
nasty.
Yeah, that's because there's
It's all the
moisture in the
rust and
tank
shit.
rusting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the rust. Yeah, it like we weren't expecting it because it was like all clear and then
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's very much like a
what just came out
literal
of this?
gray water. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was gross. But it was funny because like again, it's also under like tremendous pressure. So like as soon as you open it, it was like
Yeah,
like everywhere. Like oh.
I thought I drained so much
dirty bomb.
pressure out of it, but it's like not enough.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, that tank it's got a lot of pressure. Yeah. So you got to do that again.
I got to do that again. I have been messing with the Suburban a little bit too.
The Burb.
I thought of something this week about the idling problem,
Oh yeah.
and then it got me to a realization. So I was thinking, that is the original catalytic converter on it from 300,000 miles ago.
Oh yeah.
that could do it.
Huh.
Oh, so just floor the gas.
The weird thing is that it worked. That might explain it because it works fine when you're driving it,
Yeah.
but when you're just sitting there at idle, it's like.
Right.
You know what? So I was looking in the manual for something. I don't remember what I was looking for. Oh yeah, I was looking to see where it would be the O2 sensor because I've looked through that thing and I'm like, this does not have an O2 sensor on it. I don't know why it doesn't give me a check engine light, but there is no O2 sensor on this truck. I can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
I look in the manual and it's like tucked behind the manifold way in the back, and I'm like, it does have one. So it's either that or the cat. It's got to be something like that. We always said it'd be something stupid.
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
stupid
sensors.
thing.
In my experience, sensors is always.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. They just always suck.
I've replaced every other sensor in that fucking truck. So
So I say delete the cat because
yeah,
you don't even need it anyways.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you. You know, you're not going to have to suffer through trying to register a modified car. No, that thing's well over 25 years. You're
Oh
good.
yeah. These sauce brackets, like the clamps, the U-bolt clamps.
Yeah.
One of them just fell off. Like it
Oh
just
God.
I touched it and it just went.
If there is really something funny about that Burb, and that is like pretty much everything from like the driver's door back. Like if you touch it the wrong way, it could possibly crumble.
Yeah, it's like the body. Yeah, it's the quarter panels.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's just how it is having a fucking
Yeah,
many year old car.
It's old. So
It's just the rear fenders. Like anywhere any car would get the rust, that's where it is.
yeah, even the Bonneville gets that. It's got a little bit of rust on those rear fenders.
Yep.
Just is what it is.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. I've been thinking about, now that I've been doing this caddy stuff, I'm like, well, soon I'm gonna have to do the body work for this thing.
Yeah.
That's going to be a pain.
It's gonna suck. Like it's more like the price of everything. I can probably get everything to fit everything up and mostly get it prepped, but it's getting the color
Right.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
With like old lacquer paint. So getting that match is gonna be brutal.
That's why a lot of people, like, they'll just get it, like, all sanded down and everything. Or like they'll go get it done like the right way, where they'll get like the body like fucking media blasted and everything,
Yeah.
and then they'll just repaint it the OEM color.
They'll paint the whole car.
That's what
yeah.
my buddy in
Yeah.
Vegas did with his Impala. Like he got it, he just went and did everything, got it media blasted, everything, and then just repainted it the original color, that blue.
How much
they
did he,
came in.
did he? How much did he spend on the repaint?
I bet like 8-10 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I-
you get a nice paint job, it's like buying half the car.
yeah.
you guys know how big that
But-
car is. It's a
Yeah.
it's
It's
a
a
big
boat.
car.
Oh,
It's a
dude,
boat.
yeah, we're talking like a '64 Impala.
Yeah, okay, so
Like,
it's probably about the
that's
same
what
size.
this dude did, but that's all he does. That's all he spends his paycheck on.
Mhm.
Like his free money in his paycheck, it just goes to his Impala. That's it.
That's what his bit like. I'd be spending more on the paint job than I did on the actual truck.
Yeah.
Or
on the car.
on
Yeah.
the
I was
car,
gonna say
any
you
of
didn't
them.
you didn't spend all that much to get that.
The
thing.
Suburban, when I do the body work, that's probably what I'll paint myself. I'll probably
Yeah.
just mess around with it, try to learn something by painting it myself. But I don't care if that's too perfect.
Yeah, because we love the Burb, but at the end of the day, it's a Burb.
That's
It's a Burb.
That's the daily driver with 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
The Caddy is
It's not much of a collector.
the
but
Caddy.
it is
We
a
want that
driver.
to be perfect. The Caddy, I want like
Yeah.
I'll spend the money to get that color, to have them paint it 15 times if that's what they have to do
Yeah.
to get it right. If they
Nice.
can get it right, I really, really hope it's possible.
Yeah.
You just gotta find that right like old guy.
Yeah, right.
He's just like barely holding on, but he's got 2 more paint jobs left in him. You know, he's like, I
Yeah.
used to paint these at the manufacturer. Like,
Yeah, I used to paint these down in Motor City.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
when I was back in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more like a Chrysler thing, but you know.
Yeah.
No. Pretty much everything used to.
I was
come
gonna
from
say
Detroit in that
most
area,
of
so-
the automakers had a lot of stuff going on in Detroit at that time.
That's why it's called Motor City.
Yeah.
Fucking.
She keeps her motor clean.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so then, is it my turn?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
your
so
turn.
we
Yep,
finally
that's
come
pretty
back
much been
around.
it.
So
You have the floor.
I did pretty much like I felt like I spent most of the week with you guys in some way, shape, or form, more than I did doing anything else. Monday, like I said, I was so I had mentioned last week that I bought a 280 rad all-in-one cooler for my PC, and then James offered me because he's got a Ryzen 9, and it came with the big Wraith Prism, which is like
I literally forgot that was here.
Yeah, it's
My
like
bad.
Dude, it's fine. Like I do want to use that water cooler at some point. But, so yeah, it's like this really badass air cooler, and I slapped that on my little Ryzen 5, which turned out to be a bit of a process because I like forgot like how to do everything. So I like I'm taking the stock cooler off, and I forgot that on the AM4 chips. I mean, I think like all the AMD chips in general are kind of guilty of this, but the AM4s are kind of more notorious for it because they got popular. If you don't twist it out of the socket, or if you don't warm it up, like if you don't run the PC for a little bit before you do the job, the processor basically gets glued to the heatsink. So when you pull one off, you pull the whole thing out. So I had this big aluminum heatsink with a processor just attached to the back of it with pins facing up. And I was like, oh, whoops.
Hence the need for a heat gun and a trip to Harbor Freight.
So long story short, I realized, okay, my razor blades are all dull and I have no heat gun, and there's no way I'm going to get this thing back in the board to just fire it up. So I need to go to Harbor Freight, and they have a heat gun there for like $16.
Yeah, did you buy the cheapest one?
I really did, and it sucks. Like literally, as I'm using it, it's like smoldering.
Oh god.
Oh, it's a heap of junk. Don't buy the Warrior brand heat gun.
I don't know which one. I'll have to look at the one I have. It's cheap, but it works.
It's
you know what?
Well,
I
mean this thing works. It's just I'm pretty sure at some point it's either going to burn my
melt
house
itself.
down or it's just going to belch flame.
Yeah.
Either way, like it's like 5 minutes at most. Like it didn't need a lot. But it did need to get warmed up to kind of loosen it. And then I bought some nice, like the kind of flat, wide razor blades so I could kind of like wedge it under there and kind of pry it off. And it came out beautifully. But yeah, then we got like roped into like the filming thing. So it's like really I'm doing this at like 10:30 at night by the time like all said and done.
Well, I mean, we were done and went to Harbor Freight like 4:30.
Yeah.
But-
And then we were there until like it closed at like 6, and we were
probably
there
there
until like
till
the
it
last
closed.
customers in.
Yeah.
And then we watched the movie and we hung out and so like by the time I like got the Wraith Prism. Oh, and then I also forgot that AMD chips have the on boards they have like this backplate thing. So on the stock like Wraith Stealth, like the bullshit cooler, it doesn't use that backplate at all. You just take it like it's basically you just screw it in. But I realized that putting on this Wraith Prism, there's supposed to be like these plastic clips that get attached to the back plate. I had the clips, but I didn't have the screws to go in them. But fortunately, I found an old AM3 board, and while the brackets aren't the same, the screws are. So I managed to kind of like salvage some stuff from these older boards. I slapped it on there, and my thermals immediately improved. I mean, like that Wraith Stealth is a piece of shit, and I am normally like, it came in the box. It's the one the manufacturer wants you to use. It's fine. And I mean, maybe it is in like a perfect air conditioned room, like all the time. But man, anywhere else, it's awful. It sucks. That thing was idling 95C, like just not idling, but I mean, like any sort of like marginal load, and it was just worthless. But now I got the Wraith Prism on there, and yeah, it rocks. I've gone above 80 like only during synthetic benchmarks.
Oh yeah.
So it's fine. But that 280 rad water cooler showed up Friday, so I'm just gonna leave it in the box and deal with that because I do plan on upgrading to like a 5900X at some point. So it'll probably wait until then because for now that air cooler is doing just fine. And then Wednesday we wrapped up Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
We got that bastard.
We did. We got that bastard Metal Wolf. Tuesday, I did some running around with my mom. She had to get her COVID booster.
Yeah.
Do the whole song and dance, which I felt really dumb about. Like when we like first got like the shots and everything, like everything was like you needed an appointment. Like they were doing it at like normal places like Hannaford's or Walmart or whatever, but you still needed an appointment. Now it's like they don't care. It's like just walk in and come get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that, so I was like the one idiot that like made an appointment for this thing. Like this is just
And you
such
walk
a
in and it's just like there's
yeah,
nobody there.
Because like she had to get a blood draw first, so it's like okay, so we'll schedule it. So it's like we'll do the blood draw because they don't have a scheduled time at all, and then we'll go to get this COVID booster, and it's like we just show up, nobody's there except like the nurse, and she's like, yeah, just fill out this paperwork, blah blah blah. We're 15 minutes early. We're 15 minutes early out of there. Like it's just like yeah there you go.
Took 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just like stupid. Like it was way overthought it. Yeah, Wednesday we got that bastard Metal Wolf. Thursday, I didn't really do anything. Oh, I shuffled my office around a bit. I have this big wooden L desk, and my it's kind of like in the middle of this room, and the room is really small, so it's like sucks. Like you have to like kind of shimmy around it to like get into the desk. Like it's just bad. And I kind of like figured out like how I want to place it so I can like sit down easier and I have more of the room available. But the problem is that like I don't know if you've ever owned an L desk. Moving them as one person, it's
a pain.
It's tricky business.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it doesn't slide on the floor, you're screwed.
Is it an IKEA one?
No, it's just some Staples piece
Okay.
of crap.
Oh, okay.
A little bit better than IKEA. Then.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
like the IKEA, especially when it's like the L, it starts to make like a letter shape.
Yeah.
You put them together and you don't move them.
Yeah. Once
Because,
once it's set
yeah.
up, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah,
like the only way you're gonna move it is if you disassemble it completely.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I had the forethought of putting it on top of an area rug. So what I kind of did was like put the layout of the room in my head and where the area rug was going to be. It's like, okay, so if I can just scoot the desk onto this part of the area rug and then turn it like 90 degrees, I'll have the desk right where I want it. So that actually worked out really well. I did like kind of tweak my knee doing that, but I got that all done. My like the office is still a mess. Like I haven't sorted out anything. Like I had my guitar amps in there and they had to move out, and the IBM that I was talking about last week, like it's kind of on the floor right now. I want to get like an older style desk to go with it, because what I'd like to do is set up part of that desk so I can do like Raspberry Pi, like kind of robotics projects. I bought one of the things I got at Harbor Freight was a nice, cheap but nice soldering station, and so I can kind of learn some of that, because that's really like the only thing in the electronics world I've never done much of.
Yeah.
Soldering.
Yeah, soldering.
Soldering sucks.
Like
I hate
doing it for electrical stuff is kind of easy because it's like the connection just has to be there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like electronics, it's like everything's a lot smaller, so you got to be a lot more precise.
It's such a pain in the ass. I hate doing it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it's
especially when I
gonna
have to do it for work. Like, I'm like okay at it, and then like I haven't had to do it in a while. But every time I have to do it, it's always some weird, wonky ass, hard to do bullshit that's a giant pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
it's just like fuck.
Yeah, he works on really complicated stuff. I'm like I'm basically just doing like wires and LEDs and crap. Like I
Breadboards
don't
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, like just kind of tinkering around with it, because I realized I've had this Raspberry Pi for God knows how long, and it's like it'd be really nice to use those GPIO pins one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Friday we did the stream.
That was fun.
I scared the shit out of Bowser. That was a whole story.
You also scared the shit out
literally.
of our buddy Sean over in New Mexico.
Oh, I did? Why?
Yeah, so I didn't know, but he was on the stream watching,
Oh, shoot.
and
You
because I
never
went home
chatted
and
or anything.
I just
Oh.
sent him some message or something, because he's been wanting to play Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
and it was like 10:30, 11 when I got home or whatever. Yeah, what time did I get home? Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. After
Yeah.
10. And it's kind of like, all right, like, game's downloaded, but like I don't want to start playing this game now.
Yeah. You're going to just
Like
be
if it
up all
was
night.
9, I'd be like, all right, a couple hours,
Right.
But like 10, 11, it's like, oh, that's dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to go to sleep. But he goes, oh yeah, I was watching the stream too. He goes, I think you had walked away and just kind of like "Ah!" at some point, and he didn't expect it. He was probably just regular chatter, and then all of a sudden, just like, "Ah!" and apparently that startled him.
Yeah, the
a good
weirdest thing
frightening.
is I can't remember what I was doing.
I don't-
I must have just blacked out and turned into some kind of horrible monster.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably like when you went to take a piss or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's
I mean, it could be any time. We just yell for no
Oh,
reason.
oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we'll be walking through a parking lot, and you'll just hear, oh, like it just is what it is. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's
part of our nature.
Yeah.
well, yeah. It's like I was working. We had a shit show going on at work, and I had to go work with a bunch of Koreans and teach them all this stuff. And like they learned that when I start working on shit and everything, and I'm working on these bigger projects, like the mouth just starts. And like it just starts and it just runs and runs and runs and runs and the animal noises come and like all the other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
So the
animal
Koreans are
sounds.
sitting there and they're like, "What the fuck is with this guy? What the fuck? This fucking
I-
psychotic American guy. What the hell?"
Yeah.
You know, as I'm sitting there making gorilla noises and elephant noises and peacock noises and like you know, it sounds like you're in
What
the
the
zoo
fuck
all
does
of a
a
sudden.
peacock sound like?
Oh, actually, that is
Yeah.
a pretty
I like how,
spot on
like,
impersonation of a peacock.
That was so.
I've never like
so
put two and two
fast.
together that was a peacock.
yeah.
You just haven't been to enough zoos.
I've seen them plenty of times, but like,
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
The thing is like years ago we used to live in Portland, Oregon. Years, like we're talking, almost 20 years
Before
ago.
it was cool.
I was waiting
Sorry.
for
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I
Whenever
wasn't
I
gonna
hear
say that.
Portland, I'm like,
No,
oh,
no,
I guess
no. Portland, Oregon has like the second largest zoo in the nation.
Oh yeah.
Well, of
Literally,
course it
it's
does.
like the second or third. Not I'm talking like legitimate though.
Yeah.
And fucking, we used to go to the zoo all the time because it was there, and they always had like the peacocks. Just like, dude, there must have been
They're
like
always just walking around.
there must have been like 40 peacocks in that zoo, and they just walk around.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
I was gonna say they used to do
Like-
that at Canopy Lake around here. They used to have
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
couple
a couple.
peacocks that were just wandering the park, and it didn't really
Yeah.
matter. I mean, they're,
Yeah,
they're completely docile. Like they're not.
It's almost weird though, because you think like
They'll
they'd
put
go,
up their
don't touch
feathers.
the peacock. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like obviously don't touch it, but like yeah, like you can like stand there and stare at it, and it's not gonna really care.
Yeah, unless you're gonna give it some food, it don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Every once in a while, it'll put up the tail feathers. It'll just kind of look at you and just be like, ah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just weird how you like literally just pulled that out of your back
So
pocket so
fast.
quickly.
Oh no, that's like one of my go-tos.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like normally when I start working and everything and I'm bullshitting, I'll make the peacock noise even more than I'll make like the little. There's like, Yeah.
yeah, good.
but
I mean, to be fair though, I don't know anybody who works in silence. Like
No,
anybody doing anything. Like actually, I'm convinced that if you work in silence, you're like a psychopath.
See,
Yeah.
there's so many people at my work that like can just do that. They
No,
can
I
they
can't.
can work without saying. I'm like,
No, see, this is why I don't think I could ever work FedEx because, like, in my daily life, even if I'm like just picking up like a loaf of bread, like I brought in the groceries, put them on the floor, and
Yeah.
I'm putting them away. Like even when I'm picking up a loaf of bread, just over dramatically, I'll be like, yeah, while I'm standing up, and like I know I would drive them fucking
oh
bananas.
no, dude, I literally like anytime there's like a lot of shit coming down with yourself, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like.
yeah.
Every time I pick up a box, I'm like, fuck.
Oh, I don't
Like,
even see
every single
Well, because
fucking time.
the other thing I meant, like, I didn't necessarily mean working like at your job. I just meant like working like on a project. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta clean the drain,
Yeah.
or you're you're replacing like the faceplate on an outlet,
Yeah.
or you're doing like a PC power supply or whatever. Like, oh yeah, my whole thing is everything's a guy. So I'm like, yeah, we take this guy and put him
Oh,
right
yeah.
there,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that's where that guy
Yep.
goes, and that's perfect. Yeah, these
I
two
go with,
guys can hang out.
Little bastard. You grab
Oh,
that
yeah.
little bastard, you put it here.
Well, because then, like, when I'm pissed off, you know it because it's basically just like a non-stop string of f bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
effing thing goes in this effing hole here.
Yeah.
This f goes in that f. Like,
It's
Mine,
all
like
like
how it starts. Do you have like a certain word you say when the anger is just starting?
Yeah.
Mine is usually like, damn it.
yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, for me it's shit. Like
Yeah.
I will like when I realize I've like again when I had the processor like stuck to the back of that heatsink, I did the thing. I stood up, hands on the waist, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like
No,
that's when you know
so-
you're torpedoed.
That one right there, the oh shit, is like when you get to like maximum anger, you come down off of it, then you come back to the project and the shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right. And then you just get it done.
Yeah.
I have found that like when you hit that moment, like it sucks like if you have to do it for a job because like you just have to work through it. That sucks.
Yeah.
But I've always found that like when you ever hit that point, just walk away because
Yep.
you will come back to it so much better.
Yep.
Like anything, like when I was learning bass guitar, same thing. Like I'd be like, I can't get this flipping riff. I can't do it. And then I'll leave it for a day, and I will come back to it, and it's like first time, perfect.
Yep.
I'm like, how did I do that?
Not even that right there. That happens so many times in my industry because you're under pressure to fix something right now. Hospital wants it back or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like all you need is like a piss break or a coffee break.
Yeah.
That's it. You'll be fine, and you'll come right back and just done.
Remember
It's like a reset.
remember the pulley puller, Eddie?
Oh, the pulley puller.
Oh my god.
Well, he's sitting there for like an hour, cranking on this.
Oh,
pulley.
yeah, we were tweaking this fucking thing.
We were both using.
We were like about to break his freaking cheater bar. Like this thing was getting tweaked the
We were
fuck
using
on.
all of our strength to like turn this thing,
Because we're
and then it just the thing just fucking breaks.
Yeah.
And we're like,
shit.
fuck.
Yeah. That was that moment. I stood back. I was like, shit.
I'm like, well, now we're in fucking trouble. Shit.
Yeah,
We've just
yeah.
wasted this whole day breaking this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that
So-
happens to me like way too often.
I didn't. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. I went to Harbor Freight. I bought the cheaper tool. We broke it, so I went back to Harbor Freight and bought the more expensive one. And within the first 5 minutes, the stupid thing was apart.
Yeah.
Because when I used the instructions, it actually was like, eh.
Well, yeah, because it turned out we were using it
we
like
were
the
using it wrong.
Yeah, we were using it like the complete wrong way.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah,
That was-
you don't want to do the whole buy cheap, buy twice.
Well, more
It
importantly, you
would've
don't want
worked.
to put more muscle than brain cells into a project.
Yeah.
Like, I know we joke about having 7 brain cells, and that may be true, but that if you have 7 brain cells, that means do not put 7 muscle groups into whatever project you're doing because you will fucking break it.
You can only use 6.
Yeah. 6 or lower. And that's it. I don't care how many, whatever your brain cells is, like, obviously adjust as needed. But yeah, don't ever do that.
I remember that like so well. Like Ian was over working on his car, Dale was over working on his car, and they're over there like getting the car apart, making progress.
that was-
and me and you for like hours are just like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. We are like Soviet workers, like just like growing
Chain
ham
gang.
on this thing. Like, come on, Conrad, more muscle. And meanwhile, Dale is like just like on the ground with like this crappy '96 Camry. Your dad's crappy
previous
'96
98
Camry.
Camry.
'98. Sorry. And like he every once in a while, like because he's like way off in the driveway. Every once in a while, he'll come over and be like, "Dude, this thing freaking sucks," and then he'll just go back to it. Like that was like the routine from like 4 p.m. till like 10:30, like when I left.
he was trying to get that like one exhaust bolt off for like 5 hours.
Well, because it was something like he was trying to like do something to the transmission.
No, it was something. It was getting the exhaust off so he could actually fix what he was trying to fix.
Right. That's
was
what it
like,
was. Yeah, it was something
Oh,
in
yeah.
the way of whatever he was actually trying to fix.
And
he
there was
just like,
one bolt that was in the stupidest place that you could not get any tool in there.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? How?
It was just, yeah. I mean, there is fun in like just being a group taking on different projects at the same time. But again, it sometimes that does inspire you to just be like more muscle. Spit on the hands and grab it. Like no. That's wrong. You do not do that.
Yes.
Because if you do that, you will break it. I swear to God.
I don't remember what it was, but I feel like years ago I was helping like Jaren on something, and there was like a lug nut that we couldn't get off,
Oh,
and we didn't
jeez,
have an
yeah.
available power tool. So it's like he's cranking on, and then we just have like the breaker bar on it. And it was one of those ones where I started in a kneeling position doing this, and I ended up standing up, and the whole like muscle group thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was all of them what I used, and then finally it was just like ping and just like flying backwards.
Oh yeah.
It was like somebody torqued it to all of it.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
See,
all of it.
That's why I'm like kind of fortunate to be a fat guy because like whenever it's like a lug nut that's like stuck like that, like
Step on it.
yeah, you got a 4-way, just step on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly what I do. Yep, that is our superpower.
Yeah.
Is there's no lug nut that you can put on tight enough for us.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
but-
being a little guy like myself,
Right,
like,
right,
well,
yeah.
I hope those muscle groups will hold together.
Yeah. And more importantly, like man, I hope this cheater bar doesn't like come and hit me in the face.
Yeah.
While I got all my strength on it. Yep. So, what else did I do this week? We did the streaming yesterday. That was fun. Today I went to my little cousin's birthday party. I was running a little bit behind. And then later today, I'm finally, like, we've been putting it off for weeks, but we're finally going back to my friend's D&D campaign. And I don't think we're going to finish it, but I'm hoping we'll at least make some sort of progress because it's been kind of slow going.
Dragging on.
Well, it sucks like playing any like tabletop game in the summertime because you just want to be outside.
Yeah.
Or you just want to like be doing your own thing, like just going for a cruise or whatever. Like you don't want to like chill out indoors, sweat and roll dice. Like at least I don't. You know, if you do, more power to you, and especially if you're doing it in person, like that's always fun. But like, you know, we're doing it over the internet because like we're all kind of spread out, and it's just it's not all there, you know.
It's one of those ones where I get the same feeling in the summertime too, where it may not even be that I would rather be doing X. It's like I'll sit down and play a game and just like feel antsy. Like I just want to get up and walk every 5
like
minutes.
I gotta go do something. Yeah.
There's like so much vitamin D that I'm not depressed enough to just sit there for 8 hours and do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See, it's weird because like I feel like most normal people like they go stir crazy in the winter because it's like okay, like well at least up here in the northern part of the country, you know, you get snowed in, you're not really doing anything.
It's cold. You don't want to go
your
outside.
days are super short.
Yeah.
It's cold outside, so you don't want to be outside anyway, unless you like or actually have something fun to do outside, which most of the time you don't. But for me, it's like the opposite because like I can just spend a whole day inside, and just be like, yeah, I'll find something to do.
Yeah, same.
You know, clean a room, play a game, put a movie on, just have Stargate playing while I'm learning to cook something, whatever.
And that's like I feel like that's like nerd vitamin D.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't have that and you're just like inside, you're just like.
Yeah. It's just like, wow, I really want to get out of here. Yeah. But for me, I get that stir craziness in the summertime because I'm just like, okay, I can be in my house any other time. I could be in my house at night. Like I can go out during the day and have like a good time somewhere. So.
Yep.
No, you know, I like I said, I still want to finish this campaign, and I do like playing D&D. Don't, you know, I am a nerd. But yeah, it's been a bit of a slog. So hopefully we can make some progress on that and finally get it done.
Have you seen the dude that's had a D&D game going for like 40 years?
That's scary.
Oh my God.
That is so
he's
terrifying.
Actually, so somebody was saying like, you know, oh, you were saying this guy spends all his money on his Impala.
Yeah.
This guy spends all of his money on figures, dice, it's anything D&D related. So he said, he's like, when I was looking to buy my new house, I specifically wanted a basement space that was finished that would accept my D&D campaigns. Now, he had a table, like, from me to Jeremy.
Oh, my God.
And I mean, probably Matt to Eddie wide. That was his setup.
Jeez.
And he had terrain for, if you open the D&D storybooks or whatever, and they say, okay, you're going to volcanoes or you're going to an underground ice thing. He actually had fully painted and assembled terrain pieces that would fit in little blocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he actually had another room fully dedicated. Like, imagine your bedroom.
Fuck.
And it was only, like, several shelves stacked together, and it was fully painted miniatures of everything in the game and terrain.
See, I would love to play in one of those campaigns, but I do not have any of the time or resources to, like, dedicate to doing that.
Yeah, so, well, the thing is, too, is, and you can tell this guy's, he's probably got a little bit of the, like, I almost said the OCD.
Yeah.
But the way he was describing it, he goes, okay. He goes, I don't have people show up with basically anything.
Yeah.
He goes, I supply everything because his life is D&D, period.
Right.
Other than however he makes money, whatever. I don't remember if he talked about that. But he goes, nobody touches the pieces but me. He goes, no, like the only thing you're doing is you'll go pick up out dice if you don't have any, and you can roll your dice. You have your pencil, your paper, whatever.
Right.
Other than that, like, get the fucking hands off the board. Nobody's touching it.
Dang.
And he said over, like, you know, the 30, 40 years, he goes, I think I've had a few thousand people play the same campaign.
Wow.
And, like, even in the videos, there's, like, 40 different people. There may only be, like, 8 players at a time. But,
right.
But he's had the same storyline going for this whole time, going in and out of fighting people.
I could never do that. Like, I've always wanted to play a campaign like that, but it's always so tough because it's like your DM, like that guy, like he's clearly dedicated his life to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like most DMs, it's like even in the case of someone who really, really loves their campaign, they're not going to dedicate their whole life to it. So at some point, you are going to hit that wall of like, yeah, I'm out of stuff to do, or I'm out of inspiration. Like, I don't want to, let's just start something new. You get that fatigue. So like, I could never imagine playing a game like that for 40 years.
To me, when like I see all that and all the stuff he's painted, I mean, like, there's literally got to be like, I don't know, 100,000 minis fully painted.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if they're not like top tier, like show quality, it's still, he took the time to.
Oh no, I mean they're
paint.
He's got painted minis. He's already above us. Like we use if we're in person, we might use meeples, but most of the time we use Google Slides.
Yeah. Or whatever,
We just get like a grid map, and then we have our little player icons, and we size them to fit the grid, and we just arrow key ourselves across the map. That's
nice.
It honestly works. It is kind of genius, but it's also like you have a lot of limitations with that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, there was a couple scenes where they're showing him with his painted terrain that all looks great.
Oh yeah.
And he'd be like, oh yeah, well there's 150 goblins, little crappy enemies, swarming you, and there's 150 goblins on the terrain.
Oh my god.
And they're all placed like around the players and stuff, and you see the player characters.
See, I could
crazy.
I can only imagine what a rotation turn, like a one turn rotation looks like in that. That must take an hour.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we have like I think 6 players at our table plus the DM. It takes so long to get through like just one turn. Like a lot of the times, like. I'm kind of ratting myself out with this. I'm sorry to all DMs that I've played with. But, like, when you have a group that big, you do your turn, and I'm always, like, a marshal. Like, I don't know. Big guy hit stuff. Like, that's my shtick. And if I'm not playing a marshal, I'm playing a spellcaster who's more or less a marshal. Like, war domain cleric or, like, a paladin. Like, just big guy hit stuff, but with spell slots. And, I'll have my turn figured out, like, before it comes to my turn.
Yeah.
So it takes me, like, maybe 30 seconds to execute on what I'm going to do.
Right?
And then I'm like, and usually, like, you have, like, a bonus action left over for whatever reason. So I'll be like, I do a cool flip, and I end my turn. That's, like, a running gag we have. Like, it's either you undulate or you do a cool flip. The undulation thing is a newer one. It started because we played with a character who was a sentient ooze. So he would always end his turns being like, I undulate. So then me playing like a 7-foot tall cleric was like, yeah, I undulate. And it's like, what does that look like? It's like, just use your imagination, man. What does a 7-foot tall muscle man look like undulating?
It's like a robe.
I'm just imagining like, sorry.
Anyways.
But yeah, so like it takes like 15 minutes to get around until it's my turn again. So what I'll do is like while everybody else is doing their turns, especially the slowest players, like because we're doing it at our computers, so it's like second monitor. Let's put on some Wreckfest or any like kind of like short term game that I can immediately pause. Like you can't obviously do Dark Souls because you're just gonna fuck yourself.
I mean, you could do Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, you could. I also like to do like strategy games or whatever. So it's like you could pause it and it's not a big deal. And you just come back around to it, and then you do your turn, or like you wait until like it's the guy before you, so you can look at the map, see what's changed, see who's gotten hit, and then you can loop back around and be like, okay, do I need to do my turn? And now it's gonna drag ass, so I'm gonna go find something else to do. Yeah. Which I know is like really not a good way to play that, but I am sorry to everybody that's DM'd me because. I am honestly paying attention. But
Well, we gotta wrap it up. We're over.
We are? Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, we're over.
Okay.
We're over.
Well, I guess what's everybody's weeks looking like?
More recording, more editing,
More recording,
more
editing.
everything. Y'all know where to find me. Grizzly TV.
Yeah.
Or Grizzly, whichever it is. I forget which ones are which now. I link them all in the bottom in the chat box.
If you
and
find
everything
one, you
bottom.
can find the rest, right?
Yeah,
More
I
or
link 'em
less.
all. More content coming up for Back to the Burb. Gotta go take care of dog.
Dog.
The dog.
Yep.
The hair of the dog.
Son of a bitch!
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well,
good?
then I
That
guess
note.
that's
Yep,
it.
I'm
That
good.
was episode 14. We will catch you all next week on the Flippity Flop for number 15.
Number 15.